Good morning. I suppose it's afternoon for some of you, probably evening for some of you as well, but good morning from where I'm from. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Hi, Mackenzie. Fresh cup of coffee, new magic set, rainy day, and a Mickey live stream. I'm sad. Okay, that sounds lovely. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Christine. Hi, Melissa. I don't have Netflix, but it sounds interesting. I have not watched this yet. So I think I saw one of you say that you had already watched it, which if you have, we'll be watching it, in real time. I don't know anything. But that also means that we are not, in fact, able to give comprehensive trigger warnings. So do take care of yourselves, please, because, like I said, I don't know what's coming down the pike. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Raspberry. Hi, Arizona. Link of a chain, Vincent, Barry. How is everybody? I got both sticker sets you sent. Yay! Okay, good. Good. Yeah, all of the bingo prizes have been officially mailed. So for those of you that are international, it will take a couple of days. Kyle McGee, thank you for that $10. Good luck. Thank you. That's very kind. For what it's worth, before anybody donates any other money, I do want you guys to know we are not raising money for a charity or a nonprofit this week. I do really enjoy doing it, but it is a little bit fatiguing. So we're not donating any of the super chat money. So if you don't want that to go directly to me, or you're donating under the premise that it's going to a charity, do know that that's not the case this week. So yay, Raspberry. Lantern, you got a new job. Congratulations. Oh, that's always such a relief. I got my bumper sticker too. Alley Cat, great. Okay, good. I'm so glad. Can't hang in voice today because work is hella busy, but I hope you'll have a lovely hanging weekend. Penguin, I hope that your day is fast and easy too. I got the stickers too. Very excited to have seen that Ratchet Bitch sticker. I did make sure to pull from the stack of envelopes that had all the new stuff in them. So, also, Joe, thank you for all of the donated, memberships, or the gifted memberships rather. There are quite a few of you that got gifted memberships. So welcome. If you've never been a McNug before, welcome back. If you have, shout out to Joe for making that a reality. It's a good cause, your bills. That's true. I won't lie to you. I do appreciate the super chats because it's hard out in these streets. We're donating to your financial security. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm finally out of my depressive episode, and my partner and I just celebrated 6 years together. Oh, Michelle, I'm so excited for you. That's a big deal. Congratulations. Okay, thank you, little E. Trigger warning for child exploitation, verbal A and SA. So, definitely some heavy stuff. I think that's, sort of to be assumed from the title. We're watching a show on Netflix that is called Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing, which is essentially about children who've been pushed, coerced, I would assume, into becoming influencers by their parents. So I think that goes without saying that that's pretty abusive and a little heavy. So do know that going in. I got one sticker set and I think the other is in my mailbox. Okay, good. I'm so excited. But yes, as a reset, just so that everybody is aware, we are not, in fact, doing bingo this week. There's no bingo. There are no prizes. There is no charity or nonprofit that we are donating to. We're just having a regular stream today, which honestly I think is great for me and the mods. Big shout out to all of our mods once again, because bingo is quite labor intensive for them. So thank you all very much for helping with bingo and making that possible. Christine, your hair looks like bomb. Your hair looks bomb. Sorry. Hello. I got mine bleached and dyed today, so it's hella purple. Ooh. Christine, also, no, I'm not on live chat. Thank you for the reminder. Live chat and live chat. That sounds lovely, Christine. You look beautiful with purple hair, so I'm sure that it looks sick. Bibu will not get, Bibu's not getting bingus. Nobody's getting bingus today. Can we play bingo for the fun of it? Well, the hard thing about bingo is that it is sort of, predicated upon a list of things that are either happening in the show or happening in stream. Michelle, thank you for the $1.99. Be gay, pay bills. It's me. Thank you guys very much for all the super chats. But yeah, bingo is fun and a little fatiguing. So we might do just like a fuck off bingo at some point, but for the duration of this like bad influence show, I think we're taking a reset. There was something about trigger warnings that I did not get around to. Oh, okay. Raven said trigger warnings for CSA. I think that's CSAM, right? CSAM. Transphobia, misogynoir, anti-blackness, child neglect, child abuse, grooming and minimizing of those things, and sort of culty things. So, bit heavy today. Like I said, please take care of yourselves because I don't know what is coming. Feel free to mute or take your exit strategy whenever you need to. Otter Waffle, thank you. I have been using a conditioner that has just like hair dye in it. It's not overtone. I just bought hair dye and dumped it in a thing of conditioner. And it's helped my dye job last so much longer this time. So maybe this will be good for my hair to not get bleached so often. I would love to play Love is Blind Bingo for any random show and just see what matches up. Yes, Mama do. That's really funny, actually. I would be really curious to see if anything matched up. Regular Mickey is still a good time. Thank you. You guys are very nice to me. Sometimes I do wonder if you guys are here for the stickers. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Shenanigans. Happy Friday. Woo. Okay, I got this coffee from QT today. It doesn't look anything like coffee because, for those of you that don't know, the meds that I'm on, it's not great for me to be drinking caffeine. So I try to like minimize. Nobody has decaf cold brew though. So I'll normally get like a little bit of cold brew, good bit of ice, and then some water and then some creamer. But the ice thing, the dispenser and the water dispenser were broken today. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm just dumping creamer in it. Mistake. It tastes like I'm drinking straight creamer, which is fine. I know that some people like that, but the sweet, like the sugar content is a little much for me. Spider Jen, thank you for the $5. Regular super chat. Thank you guys. You guys are being so sweet. I do appreciate the super chats a lot because for those of you that don't watch the pod, you might not know that Aaron got laid off. So that's why we're probably maybe having to move across the country. And that's expensive. Did you guys know that it costs tens of thousands of dollars to move? I did not know that. As a person who has only ever moved like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes across town or whatever, we've always just asked like friends and family and whoever, like, hey, can we borrow your truck? And just like thrown our shit in it, But hiring like a moving company or even like those like pod things, even a U-Haul is expensive. And also like shipping a car, I was like, oh, it can't be that expensive. No, that shit is thousands of dollars. Yeah. Hi, Arizona. Again, no, I haven't seen the pod yet. Well, that announcement was a while ago. So if you saw that pod from a while ago, things are the same. We don't know anything new. Oh, why do you have to move across the country? Because the job that Aaron found that is not going to fuck up our health insurance benefits, and will pay us a comparable amount is in fact across the country. So, I move more often and I always am shocked. Yeah, it's expensive. Everything helpful to live is expensive. Word. I want Mickey to come to Washington. We're cool here. Okay, we did look at a lot of jobs in Washington, but it's really hard to get hired right now. Is shipping a car soup? Yes, because everything is soup. If you guys haven't watched that podcast yet, you guys should. I gave my Everything is Soup PowerPoint presentation, and I think it's funny. Aaron really enjoyed it. We had a really good time. Yeah, we hate moving too. Trying to bitch across the country. Well, that's probably what we're going to have to do. It's just that we have two vehicles and one of them is an electric vehicle, which like you can drive across the country, but it's a lot more stressful because you have to plan your route like religiously, or not religiously, but like very specifically. And if we can avoid having to do that with 4 animals, we would prefer to do that. But, you know, yeah, that's what Aaron was talking about, just renting a trailer. I'm just nervous about it because, you know, Barry, thank you for the $20 because times are rough. Word. Yeah, big love to you guys if you're also going through something similar, because it is stressful and not the best. So big love to everybody. Just generally, honestly, it's really quite a time to be alive, huh? The Everything Soup episode was hysterical. Thank you, Kira. Aaron and I had so much fun filming that. Soup's been following me around ever since the podcast. See, it's a sign. Snod be with you. Hi, Petra. By the way, did you see that Rachel Oates made an 8-hour long video? Yes. That's very nice. I haven't watched it. 8 hours is like, that's a lot. That is a lot of content. I'm hoping maybe there's going to be like a TLDR or TLDW, I guess. But that's very nice that Rachel shouted me out. Shout out to Rachel. Thank you. I'm driving halfway across the country with my cats. 3-day trip. Wish me luck. Oh, Melly. Big luck. So many luck to you. I'm fully on Aaron's side about some of the soup not being soup pancakes. Okay, like I said, 85% joking. I do think it is kind of a noteworthy coincidence that you can make soup and you can make pancakes by simply adding water. So like functionally, really not that different. You add water to a powdered mix and then you apply heat to cook it. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, functionally, that's not all that different. I got like 2 hours into Rachel's video. I'll dive in again later. Yeah, exactly. That's 2 hours tends to be about my limit for a YouTube video. Oh yeah. Girl kisser. Paul is blatant and like very loud misogynist, but is putting soup saying, yes, Natty, absolutely it is. Yeah. I mean, that is like really an easy stretch because there are some stews that are quite thick. And so, and also for what it's worth, if you add, like thickener, you know how some folks who have disabilities or are a choking risk, folks that have like specific medical needs, you'll have to add, thickener to their liquids to prevent choking. So some folks will have to consume like thickened water, thickened soup, other like, anything liquid really, so as to keep them safe. And pudding is like a very similar texture to other thickened liquids. And so if you thickened soup for somebody who has, medical needs like that, it would still be soup, right? So why can't pudding be soup? I'm just saying. I could argue my way into anything. Have you guys seen, Aaron and I watched this recently because we're on a rom-com tear. I've been going through a list of like the influential and necessary 90s and 2000s rom-coms for Aaron. And so we watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And you know how the dad can do the thing where like, give me a word, any word, and I'll show you that the root of that word is Greek? That's me, but with soup. The only soup I like is my grandmother's homemade gumbo. That sounds so good. I almost said bungo, Vincent. I need help. Hi, Marzana. How are you? We sold a car and drove a car. I know. We talked about that too, Lisa, but I love my car. My little baby. I've had that car forever. She's a little rundown and like a little, but I love her. It's like the first like grown-up car I ever had. I know. Well, because Joe, somebody said gumbo, and so the letters got mixed up. Okay, raspberry, me too. It's so funny. My friend in middle school had that same soup theory. We joked about it all the time. LG. Oh my gosh. Please tell your friend thank you for me, if you still talk to them, for being the OG soup is everythinger, because I think the universe brought that truth to me. It's so funny. It also just reminds me of being a kid, you know, well, maybe not a kid, but like, yeah, a kid. I mean, I was like middle school, high school. I think that counts as being a kid. Okay, also this is like the wrong direction, so let's fix that really quick. There we go. That's better. Ooh, hi Hattie. My freaking shoulder has been hurting me. What the hell? Can someone call the shoulder distribution center and let them know that they've sent me a faulty product? I'll be requiring a new one. If karate can be Greek, then anything can be soup. Thank you, Otter Waffle. Thank you. I think so too. I fully agree with that assessment. Not me avoiding a phone call. Ugh. Phone calls still give me anxiety, even as a therapist. Like when you have to call and leave voicemails, or when you have to call like a provider or a doctor's office or whatever, it's still, I like have to, okay, like hype myself up, give myself a little pep talk before. Does anyone buy something and use it as a reward to do something? Yes. I just bought a game and I'm going to use it to do laundry, but is that healthy? Listen, you can sometimes run into tricky territory with this, right? And especially for neurodivergent people, having sticker charts, reward systems, other incentives to help push you through things that you know you're avoiding, it's not a bad thing, right? We use positive reinforcement as a behavior modification tool all the time. So as long as the people involved in that are consenting, right? Like you're an adult and you're making that choice for yourself. If it helps, it helps, you know? I think it's super valid and sometimes necessary. I do it all the time. So yeah, I mean, like be careful, obviously. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it personally. We find that there's a meaningful distinction between soup and pudding, even if the soup is thicker. I disagree, respectfully. May I just say, I don't think pudding is a soup, but pudding is its own food category. No. With love and respect, girl kisser, I don't think that's right. Me avoiding calling insurance. Oh, okay, but Gabby, calling insurance is the most stressful experience. M in Discord is like, pudding is not soup. I mean, I don't know. I think soup is hot meat juice. Okay, but then explain like gazpacho. That's not meat juice, right? Explain mushroom soup. Not meat juice. Explain vegan soup. There are lots of wonderful vegan soups that don't have anything to do with meat or animal products at all. Natty, what? I'm too stubborn to admit it. No, that's so valid. Yeah. Tomato soup? I get so stressed out over insurance because it feels like a trap. That's so fair, Raspberry, because it kind of does. It kind of is, in a way. I mean, at least in the United States, it's definitely not made with the consumer in mind, or like the subscriber, whoever is paying for the insurance. You know what I mean? I don't know, Tiny Artificer. I stand by what I said. That thickened soup would still be soup. So being a liquid being thick doesn't disqualify it from being soup. I'm just saying. Glad we're back on soup. Is a slushy soup? Yes, absolutely. Of course it is. Because, yes, exactly. It has the same components. It's definitely liquid still. There's truly no reason to disqualify that from being soup. Pudding is only slightly thicker than pea soup and texturally variant on the type of peas used. Okay, Marzana, thank you. Thank you very much. Is a sandwich soup? Yes, absolutely. As we covered in the PowerPoint, it absolutely is soup. Yeah, exactly. Ice is frozen water soup, and something being frozen doesn't disqualify it from being soup either, because we have lots of soups that we freeze for the purpose of preserving them. So, like, would I prefer to take frozen French onion soup, put it in a blender and like whack that all around until it's a slushy and eat it that way? No. But could you? Yes. It's still soup. It doesn't make it not soup just because I wouldn't want to eat it that way. So, is it bidet soup? Yeah. It's gross, but that's butt soup. Yeah, link in the chat. Go watch the podcast. Christine. Fruit soup. Yeah, definitely. Christine. Not all soup is intended to be consumed. Let's be very clear about that. Kyle. Also, hi, Kyle. Thanks for coming. Listen, y'all asked. I didn't bring that into the room. Somebody asked me about it. I'm simply here to share the information, the objective truth, if you will, about soup. Y'all making me hungry, but now I'm aware that a smoothie. Yep. We talk about that in the presentation as well. I won't spoil it for you guys. Go watch it. It's really good. Girl kisser. That's fair. Soup is all, soup is nothing. Yes. Soup is everything. Soup is nothing. Exactly. Hellfire. Yes. You are correct. Back to the plot. Thank you, Kyle. Look at me being a philosopher. Soup on Friday. Ooh, Friday soup day. 10 out of 10. Go watch the soup pod. Thank you. Y'all making getting work done impossible. LG, I'm sorry. I hope we don't get you in trouble. Time is a weird soup. Yes. As Ashley Johnson so profoundly let us all know. The ocean is definitely big soup. Yes. Universe is soup. Hi, Lord Mage 30-ish. Hi, Mickey. Hope your day's going well. I was a silent subscriber for almost 2 years. Oh my God. Okay, well, I love that you're not a silent subscriber anymore. It's so nice to meet you. Thanks for coming to the live. Okay, Kidfluencing. I don't know what that word means, but I'm assuming it's a mashup of like kind of the family vlogging phenomenon, right? Yeah, kids who are influencers. So I have a very vague understanding of what this is just based on the description in the Netflix little blurb, that it's essentially a group of children who are forced to be influencers or pushed to be influencers by their parents. And obviously that didn't go well because that's coercive and abusive and really bad for kids. And so this is kind of like the story of the fallout there. Kidfluencing is so dangerous. Yeah. No, it definitely is. It's bad for their brains. It's bad for their social lives. We'll get into it. I think we're going to have a lot to talk about with this, honestly. I think the timing of this is also going to work out great because the next season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is coming out in May. And y'all seem to enjoy that the last time we watched it. So we'll probably watch that again. Unless we have really strong opinions about watching something else. I know you guys gave me a couple of suggestions, but to be fair, some of them are things that I know for a fact that y'all did not like. We talked about Married at First Sight Australia. But first of all, a lot of folks really complained about us watching that. And also, a lot of folks pointed out that the seasons for that show are like wild how long they are. I think the ones for American Married at First Sight at least are like 20 something episodes long, which I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm only watching one episode a week outside of Love is Blind because it's quite labor intensive. And that is like 25 weeks. That's 6 months. Married at First Sight. Wait, whose birthday is it? Chloe? My mom bought me sushi for my birthday. Chloe, happy birthday. Oh my God. Wow, that's special. I'm glad we get to spend your birthday or the days adjacent to your birthday with you. Boop, boop, boop. Star jellies. What are star jellies? That's too long. That's what I said, Natty. That is way too long. Even for people who really like the show, I think 6 months of Married at First Sight will really wear on the nerves, you know? And the episodes are really long. They're like an hour and a half. So even if I wanted to watch 2 episodes a week, we would be here for 6-7 hours a week, which is just, that would suck the life out of me, I fear. Would you ever stream watching a fictional show, or do you prefer streaming reality TV so we have more commentary? I'm open to streaming a fictional show. I know you guys really want me to watch My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend or Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So that is still on the docket, but we'll see. I do want to do some vetting of that first. Hulu has episodes about influencers. Oh, interesting. I loved your coverage of I Love a Mama's Boy. It was actually helpful. Oh, good. Otter Waffle. I'm so glad. I know that subject matter is a little touchy, so I hesitated about talking about that show, but I do think it was good for us to do that. Let's see. Hi, MCAR. Oh no, it froze? Moothie, did it freeze for you, or is it frozen for everybody? Would you stream Loves on the Spectrum / do you watch it? Okay, so Sam, I've never watched it. Excuse. I have seen like trailers and stuff, and I have to be super honest, it gives me the ick. It freaks me out a little bit. It feels like it infantilizes people with autism, and like just generally like infantilizing disabled people the way that non-disabled or non-neurodivergent people do. And it like, I don't know, it kind of stressed me out a little bit. To be clear, if you guys like it, that's your business. I'm not saying that you're like morally bad for liking it. I don't know. It was a little hard for me to watch. Yeah. Well, the trailer anyways. It's a Discord issue. Oh, Discord is so rude. Yeah, sometimes you have to leave the stage and come back. Sometimes you have to reload the desktop app or the mobile app. You have to like force close it. Oh yeah, also hi, String Cheese. Your cat is sitting so still, I didn't realize it was a cat. Yeah, that's Echelon. She's our emotional support cat. To be clear, this is pre-recorded footage of her, but she's our sweet baby. I have very complicated feelings about Love on the Spectrum, but it definitely feels more about us than with us. Yeah, Christine, I think that's a good way to put it, actually. I'm so on the fence with lots because I want people to be introduced to the struggles of real people with disabilities. That's so true. Yeah, but it does feel a little icky. Definitely. Do you like musicals? Because Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a musical. Oh, I think that's important to know. And one of my favorite shows that handles her crazy with lots of nuance over the course of the whole show. Okay, that does kind of change things. Actually, MCAR, thank you for telling me, because I don't know if we would be able to watch that, because that would get copyrighted immediately. Like, we would probably get the stream taken down. The issues with like audio being copyrighted and video being copyrighted are very different. We can circumvent the video copyright by doing a couple of different things to like transform the video and to make the video, more educational and things like that. But audio, like copyrighted songs are just copyrighted songs, and it's really hard to change the audio on that. Have you seen the Korean show Extraordinary Attorney Woo? Her main character is an autistic attorney, and a lot of people appreciate the characterization. No, I haven't. Natty said, life update, I'm on new meds for my gallbladder. That then went on a first date that didn't suck. Finally picked up my associate's diploma. Natty, you've had so many wonderful things happen. Oh my God. Well, congratulations. Big love. About all of those things. That's very exciting about your first date. Are the new meds for your gallbladder working better, hopefully? Yeah, I think the Discord is just being a little cantankerous for some people. Echelon really understands the assignment today. Yes, very much so. Speaking of which, I know that we're only 40 minutes into the stream, but we might get started a little early because, oops, okay, hold on. Don't click that link because there is no bingo today. Hold on, I forgot to turn the command off. That's my B. And also, if you do generate a bingo card, there will be nowhere to send it, just as a heads up. Okay, we're just gonna turn all of these off. Doop doop doop. So sorry, everyone. Yeah, that's my bad. I forgot to update that because I was like, oh, it's fine. No, in fact, it is not. Mickey, you have to update the Nightbot. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Okay, overlay. Doop, doop, doop. That's fine. That's fine. That's all fine. We can turn that one off. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry, everybody. There's no bingo this week. I forgot to change the commands. We are doing, as previously discussed, a regular stream. Just play bingo no matter the stream. Okay, but also, Natty, can you imagine playing bingo and like making a joke out of a show like this? Like, ooh, that feels very bad. You know, Love is Blind is sort of funny because we're mostly making fun of Netflix, you know? LG. Thank you for the $9.99 Snurch tithings. That is a joke, to be clear. But thank you for the $9.99. I do appreciate you very much. I work in podcasting and I'm so on board with pop screens. What's pop screens? I just hope there's a no music deep cut. There probably will be because Netflix loves using copyrighted music now, apparently. Christine. Yeah, I know. I'm terrible. People tell me in my comments all the time. People love to tell me that. I can understand, to be honest. I can't imagine a therapist finding that kind of stuff funny. Yeah, no, I think that would probably be not in the cards. I do like ironically, you know, in like a very dry way, laugh sometimes about like the absurdity of things. But of course, I never find stuff like this funny. They will use kids' pop songs. Oh no, Scooter Booter. Ew, a BetterHelp ad. Whatever. Honestly, thanks for the money, BetterHelp. Thanks for advertising on my channel because no one wants your fucking ads. And no one's gonna click on them. But you just gave me money, so appreciate it. Send me a cease and desist letter. Fuckers. Popping in to say hi and I love your content so much. True Crime Curator, hi! Thanks for coming. That's very kind of you to say. Happy to have you. I messaged them. Hold on. I saw a post on social media celebrate. Whoa, that's terrible, Lisar. Joe, thank you for gifting 5 more memberships. Let's see. Joanna, Layla, Mildred, Ninja, and 90s Artemis. Welcome to the Big Nugs. Thank you, Joe. I have a deep appreciation for... I don't know what that acronym is or whatever they're called after listening to exams where everyone sounded like a snake. I think I missed a chapter in that one, and so I'm just going to let y'all have that. Yes, Nikki, definitely. And I think that's a moral dilemma that a lot of content creators struggle with between like wanting to bring awareness about something, wanting to educate about a problematic topic and not wanting to make a spectacle out of it, not wanting to monetize that. It's difficult, right? My hope is that I can include a lot of educational material, a lot of preventative material, and also some validation about folks who've been through similar things, right? Like a direction about how to deal with that, what to do with that, all of those types of things with content like this. To be clear, that's why we watch it. Did you see that creator Ryan Kelly is also coming for BetterHelp? I bet he'd love your cease and desist letter. Interesting. No, Hellfire, I did not. I'll have to look at who that is. Let me open another tab. Ryan Kelly. BetterHelp. Duly noted. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Did anyone watch Rachel Oates' episode? Oh, we were talking about that earlier, MCAR. No. I think a couple of people have made it part of the way in, but we've not finished it yet. I haven't watched it, to be clear. 8 hours that's a couple feature-length films. That's like watching the extended cut of Lord of the Rings twice. Which is already an attention challenge for me. As someone who worked with neurodivergent, physical, mental disabilities for almost 10 years, I'm protective, but then I also know half my students would love to make videos and have fun. Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's kind of the thing, right? Like child influencing is not necessarily bad because all children, aggressively or obviously hate making videos or getting attention. But it is still bad because ultimately they don't really have the ability to conceptualize what they're consenting to, and they are also under the legal age of consent anyways, so they lack the cognitive development to fully reckon with the potential consequences of such a thing. They lack the ability to legally consent to that, and especially when parents are involved, we're exerting undue influence, right? That's not an equal power exchange. And besides that, it also creates a problem where children who may have said, oh yeah, this is fun and interesting, right? When they become the primary financial supporters of a family by making content, they then are pressured into continuing to make content even if they don't want to, right? Because once the family has become financially dependent on that, then parents are apt to push the kid to continue making content long past the point that they desire to or find it fun, or would have wanted to, right? So there's all of these power and control things combined with these like long-term consequences that they can't fully reckon with yet. And so it's just, it's all bad. No, I haven't watched Adolescence. We almost watched that for the stream, but I heard that it is trauma soup, like real bad. And so I decided to not watch that here. I'll probably watch it on my own time and then talk about it on the channel, little bits and bobs, you know, like instead of watching it all the way through like we do with stuff like this. But we'll see. Hold on. What happened? Doop, doop, doop. I missed something and I can't remember where it was. Oh, Adolescence. Okay. I've been watching swoop docs. I can do like 3 hours, but not 8. I know when you guys tell me that you want me to make long form content, I'm like, okay. But honestly, I can't really like even imagine being able to sit down and film for that many days in a row or for that many hours. Like that is intense. Speaking of which though, we do have a somewhat longer video coming out tomorrow. So, this is very apt because it's sort of related to the Rachel Oates video, to this video that we're going to watch, or this docuseries that we're going to watch. There's some tie-ins there that I'm very excited for you guys to see. So, yeah, make sure you have notifications turned on, I guess, for tomorrow's video because it's a good one. Erin and I spent a lot of time, like many. Actually, I think we spent like 2.5, 3 weeks in the editing process for this one, which is a lot longer than we normally spend consistently, like every day. Sitting down to edit a video for 3 weeks is kind of a lot. So yeah, Melly, I can't even imagine. That's like a ContraPoints video. I have a question about social media and men's mental health. Social media is often blamed for a lot of the issues with women, and I'm curious if women hold themselves to that beauty standard, do men hold themselves to the standard of getting a woman who is conventionally attractive? Does it contribute to a problem like that? In a way, yes. It's kind of that thing, Lisa, right, where the patriarchy harms everyone. And so the sort of inverse expectations that, to be fair, men and a misogynist or misogynistic society have created, those expectations do still harm men. But I think it's important to point out that those expectations are often centered around a value and a desire for owning and consuming women. Consuming? Yeah, I said that right. Consuming women as a currency, as objects, and as status symbols, right? Whereas a lot of the, I don't know, like beauty standards, body standards, expectations around those things that women, obviously using binary terms, you get it, are subjected to, are often used as a shield to defend themselves against violence and to also try to demonstrate a worthiness of acceptance. So the distinction there is very important. Have we had any content warnings? Yes, Marzana. Mostly like child, try not to use the word, mistreatment, CSA, CA, CSAM, exploitation, neglect, all of those types of things. General fucky expectations, I guess, or values around power and things like that. I've never met the standards. No reason for me to start now. Word. Let's see. Will Wheaton just gave an interview about last week, and the way that he was talking about his dog was so sweet. Oh, that's cute. Oh yeah, verbal mistreatment, I guess, as well. You get it. Read the chat. It's hard for me to say that word too many times because then the stream can get suppressed. So, okay, let's see. All right, I think we're settled. It's been an hour now anyway, so all right, we are going to watch the first episode. This is 45 minutes, so we'll see how long that takes us. If we end up having a super short stream, then maybe we'll watch the second one, but I have a feeling that that's not going to be the case. So we are watching episode 1 of Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. This episode is called Momager, and we're starting at 0 minutes and 0 seconds. I do have subtitles on. Do we want to watch it at 1.25 speed, you think? What's our thoughts about that? I just watched a vid about the standard for a fit body has greatly changed. Oh, yes, definitely. An hour vamping, check. Yeah, we seem to sort of settle around an hour of vamping, even when we say we're not going to. Let's start watching. Okay, yeah, let's see how that goes. All right, 0 minutes and 0 seconds. We are pressing play on this episode in 3, 2, 1. Why can I not hear anything? There we go.
She's a multi-millionaire YouTube star, and she's only 15.
This makes me very uncomfortable already.
There was the Mickey Mouse Club, and now there is the Squad. There's groups of kids that work together to build these massive viral chains of
I don't think
videos.
they're working together.
The whole squad. What's up? I'm Sawyer. Yo, what's up? I'm Hayden. I'm Gavin. I'm Piper. I'm Sophie. I'm Chris.
We all filmed videos together that were like challenges.
We're going to have to chug an entire glass of water in just 7 seconds. So let's stop eating challenge! Yay!
Kids really seem to like it and enjoy it.
You got 4 million views. Just want to put this in perspective, okay? CNN in 1 week has 2.2 million views. She is a superstar online.
Piper Raquel is an incredibly popular child influencer.
Some of you have been watching
these children.
I was literally 8 years old.
Piper garnered billions of views and millions of dollars. Tiffany Smith, Piper's mother, is the momager.
Get closer to the bars. There we go.
She took these kids to massive viral fame. It seemed fun. It seemed
No.
so innocent, but
Okay, hold on. Yeah, well, here.
it wasn't innocent at all.
100%. Okay, pause. We're at 1 hour, 1 minute and 39 seconds. I do want to be, I don't know, trying to illuminate the behind the scenes aspect of this, because as influencers, content creators, whatever, when people make videos like this, especially with children, like family vlogging is especially guilty of this. The outside view is that we're just setting up a camera and we're letting kids be kids, right? It's no big deal. These kids are just happening to be filmed and it's not really that labor intensive for them, right? That's not true. I just want to put it out there in case you're not aware that the behind the scenes aspect of filming, editing, planning, outlining, scripting takes a very long time. And for kids like this to coordinate, 5, 6, I don't know how many kids this is, to coordinate their activities all together and to make sure that they're all emoting correctly, that everybody is like on cue and looking the way that they're supposed to and all of these things. There is a lot of planning that's going into this behind the scenes. And there are also multiple takes that are happening, right? So the odds that kids are being pushed and poked and prodded into like, be more excited and fix your face. And we saw some of this with the Ruby Frankie 8 passengers situation, where there was recently released footage of their vlogs behind the scenes, and a fair amount of it is the mom yelling at the kids, right? Obviously, that's a very extreme example, and this does still happen with other child content creators. So just, don't be fooled by the affect. Like, this is not cutesy or simple. There's a lot happening behind the scenes to make this come to fruition. After working in those schools, though, it's real. These kids have think pads with Jake Paul backgrounds. I don't know what that means, Kyle. Who consumes this? Well, yeah, that's kind of the other thing, right? Is that in theory, the content is made for other children and tweens and whatever, but we know for a fact that that's not the case. There was a survivor of the child blogging phenomenon before video blogs were a thing, that talked about how exploitative it felt to have her childhood recorded and uploaded for the world to see. And she likened it to standing on a street corner with photos of your child in the bathtub and just handing it out to perfect strangers, right? Most people are probably going to throw that in the trash. Most people are not really going to want that. There are going to be a few who are like, oh, sure, this is cute, whatever, right? But then there are also going to be people who take that photo and are interested in that photo for reasons that are disgusting, for reasons that are malicious. And so when we're doing this with our kids, where we're uploading this content to the internet, that's what you're doing, right? Which is a problem. I think beyond just the exploitation of these kids having to like essentially have a job before that's appropriate for them, it also puts kids at risk for lots of really nefarious things. It's a laptop. Oh, got it. Okay. Oh yeah, Christine, thank you. Don't forget to like the stream. Reminds me of the Perfect Dad Husband content Hannah Alonso did. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm very curious about Piper's mom. I'm sure we'll find out the, severity of that situation. But it does remind me of dance moms and the family vlogging issues, right? I think Kris Jenner calls herself a momager as well. It's not a good look. Nobody who's using that term is good person. Or not Piper, sorry, whoever the mom is. I don't remember anybody's name clearly. Okay, let's keep going. We're at 1 minute and 31 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1. Whoa.
This young lady's amassed more than 10 million followers on YouTube, shooting silly videos with her friends. Now some of those now former friends and their parents are suing, alleging they were exploited.
I wouldn't be surprised if I worked 12 hours and then we would go to bed and do it all over again.
See?
Tiffany would often put me in situations where I felt unsafe.
Closer, 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 closer. We were definitely directed to do stuff that isn't really right for an adult to be telling little kids to do.
Basically have a job and I am a kid.
It didn't really actually occur to me that there could be dangers.
Quite honestly, Lou, I don't really want to. Hold on, pause. First of all, the headline that I reacted to, I'm not going to show it on YouTube because I don't want the video to get taken down, but it essentially was a headline that read, Tiffany, I think is the mom, boasted about the content that she was making with these children being consumed for the reasons that we just talked about. So, what do these kids have to show for it? Did they get any money at all? That's also the question too, is that when children are involved in like child acting, there's still a lot of issues with that, to be clear. And there are legal protections for those kids now because children have had their money stolen by their parents. So there are some legal protections in place, but for things like content creation and vlogging, there aren't. And it is entirely possible, probable, common, I would say, for parents to take that money and run. You're quite literally exploiting your child to make money for you, and then your child, it basically like it's a situation where you're basically exploiting your child for your own benefit, and they don't even have the financial security from that after the fact. Ooh, okay. Thank you, Melissa. I did watch this entire show, and it goes into detail, the CSA on some of the kids. Woof. Okay, great. We might have to fast forward through that. All right, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Flirt with the camera.
This is where predators go to seek content of children.
Ooh.
They make it seem like it's this fun, happy house when it's really a house of horror.
Tiffany yelled and screamed at everybody.
It was a very cult-like atmosphere.
Tiffany was a complete monster.
You are a disrespectful little bitch.
Tiffany took our innocence and just destroyed it.
Wow. Well, that's lovely. Hold on, we're just muting that for the music. All right, bad influence, the dark side of kidfluencing. Making you speechless on bingo, yeah? Okay, here we go. 2024, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Where did you eat some of it?
No. It does make me laugh when Frank comes on the screen.
Yeah, Frank was hilarious.
I know, Eric. I feel lied to.
Dude, that was my first ever video that I was with everybody, so I was like so excited.
You know, this was never, it was good and fun, and we just had fun filming them.
Because Piper was somebody that I looked up to. She was our cousin, and I wanted to do like YouTube videos and stuff like that.
The thing that I just miss the most is Piper. It's just really sad that she's not in my life at the moment.
I see your smiles whenever you're with her, and you two act so silly. I miss seeing that.
Yeah.
Tiffany is my older sister, and Piper is my niece. We grew up in Canton, Georgia. When Piper was born, Tiffany was 26 years old. Piper's dad left Tiffany when she was pregnant. Tiffany lived at home with my parents. She started her own business, pet grooming, and she raised Piper by herself without Piper's dad. When she was super young, Piper was just an outgoing kid, just dancing around, singing, smiling. You can just tell she has something special in her.
Child pageants. Videos of child pageants. That's what's on the screen right now.
Probably 3 years old when she started pageants. She won her first one at 3, and it was for 4th of July.
Her room is full of trophies.
She was great. Like, perfect.
Love the
I think
pride
Tiffany's
flag in the
drive
background.
for Piper's success was to show Piper's dad that she was worth something and that he's missing out on her life.
So the exploitation started early.
Doing the bikinis, the spray tan, the hair. She practiced and learned all the dance moves. Piper loved the attention. People clapping for her, the trophies. Tiffany definitely wanted Piper to be the best. Tiffany was not happy with second place. When Tiffany began to see Piper become successful in pageants, she wanted to go ahead and see what she can do in social media.
Okay, hold on, pause. Marzana said, actually, I do just want to say that the CSA by Tiffany happened on camera, and it is shown in this doc, but I can't remember if it's this episode or the second one, but that does happen later on. So again, I just want to give everybody a reminder, please take care of yourselves if this is something that is a button, if it's a trigger, if it's too difficult for you to watch, then please mute, nope out, you can leave, come back, etc., because that's a lot. So We'll see. I don't know if we're going to make it all the way through the show, to be honest, but yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Pressing play. In 3, 2, 1.
This is the Why Is Be Now podcast, and we have a very special guest here today.
Hi, Raquel.
When did you start kind of saying, oh, it would be fun to kind of start posting my life on social media?
When I kind of got done with pageants, there was this app, Musical.ly. I started on there, and then that's when stuff kind of like started to happen, and people started to like become my friends, I guess.
Musical.ly was created around 2014, and it was a lip sync app.
Oh, it's a potato. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
You could create these short, funny videos where you were essentially lip syncing to a sound. This was so popular with children. You're supposed to be 13 to use it, but kids as young as 6, 7, 8 were really addicted to it. And I would say it's their parents posting content. Musical.ly eventually became TikTok, one of the most successful apps of all time.
Ow, Charlie! Ow!
In 2007, you had Charlie Bit My Finger, an early YouTube video that really took off. That's when you started to see the ascendance of these early social platforms. You started to see more people hop on there, talk about their lives, and kind of start uploading intentionally for small audiences.
Thank you, Scooter Booter. I appreciate that.
Okay, what you want today? What toy you want today? What is your pick?
By 2011, YouTube had millions and millions of users.
I know, Elle, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh.
And some of the earliest viral stars were actually children.
I would always watch those little like unboxing videos of like toys and stuff, and I was like, Mom, I want to do it.
Hey guys, it's Piper Raquel. Today we are going to be making.
Why are we giving out our last name on the internet too?
Elmer's glue, school glue.
You can just look at Piper's fluffy slime video, which is completely different from the pageant world, and you can see how comfortable she is in front of the camera. She's just a natural. Tiffany was constantly filming.
Okay, listen. Hold on. We're going to press play so that this goes away. 7 minutes, 55 seconds.
Something. It was part of...
Okay, pause. The narrative here is starting to bother me a little. I don't know if we're going to continue pushing this angle or not, but let's just be very clear. It doesn't matter if a child... oh, they look so comfortable in front of the camera. Like, this era of child exploitation was fun for her. No, because this is the thing, right? If a child enjoys, I don't know, making slime and wants to make a video of it, right? Sure, you can set your phone up, let your kid make a video of them making slime, send it to their auntie. Right? Send it to your grandma. There's no reason that we have to take that video and then upload it to a social media platform when they're children. So it doesn't matter if a child is enjoying the content creation or is having fun during that. That doesn't make it okay. And it's not, the problem with this is not that Tiffany, the mom, took things too far. I mean, I'm sure that is also the problem, right? But that doesn't make the early part of this journey good. Like, let's be very clear about that. Yeah, that's just... I was in high school before YouTube and I'm crumbling into... I know, same. Yeah, we didn't really start watching YouTube, especially as like a social phenomenon, until I was like in college. YouTube was like the place where weird content lived, right? There was like that video of that pug, right? Who like somebody made a weird song out of it, and like Charlie the Unicorn. Those things were on YouTube. But like influencers, people who family vlogged and those things, that wasn't really a widespread phenomenon until after I was an adult. And so this, especially like the kids opening toys and all of that, is just very off-putting to me. I'm 34. My best friend and I used to do talk shows on VHS recorder. Yes, me too. I remember being a kid, actually. My brother and I loved Veggie Tales. And so we did the thing that all children do where we made up a dance routine to Veggie Tales songs. And I think there's somewhere, like probably a VHS tape of us singing our silly little songs that never made it anywhere on the internet, right? Because we were children. And that, I mean, granted, the internet wasn't a thing then, but I can't imagine I can't imagine how haunting that would be also, to have that exist on the internet and to never be able to get rid of it, right? That's also something to be underlined here. Exactly. In 2012, so it wasn't usually a job-related thing until later. That sounds about right, yeah. Yeah, I can't, Luca, I think it was Luca the pug who sang this silly little song. It was like an Irish accent. I can't remember what the song was, but it was really funny at the time because it was just silly. It was stupid. Yeah, Otter Waffle. I noticed that as well. She wasn't educated about internet security because when she said that she met her friends, people started to be her friend on Musical.ly. That's not possible as a child and as there's a lot of parasocial problems there besides the safety issues. Okay, yeah, let's just keep going. 7 minutes and 57 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
The routine of what they were doing.
That's super fucking weird,
The way that Tiffany
dude.
was able to utilize these new media platforms was brilliant. Social media is everything. You can build a brand on there, you can make friends on there, and you can really connect with anybody globally. Tiffany saw an opportunity for her daughter, and she wanted to give her daughter an opportunity.
That's not true.
At the same time that you had internet fame taking off, you also had television and traditional fame changing, where suddenly real-life people were being cast on these reality shows. And Piper has what I would consider her big break. She gets cast on Dance Twins, which is a popular reality show.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, and this is my beautiful daughter, Piper.
She's the fun mom. Like, every kid wants to hang out with her.
You also
That's
see
never good.
Tiffany for the first time and really get a peek behind her parenting style. You can see that Tiffany is pushing Piper.
This is like a really good time for you to get first place.
Okay.
I would like that, you know? So.
From a young age, Piper wanted to please her mother, making sure that she's constantly striving to be the best. That.
Okay. This is starting to piss me off. Let's be clear about a couple of things. When kids want to please their parents, there's just like, I don't think the aunt is doing this on purpose necessarily, but there's a lot of strange language happening here, right? All children, generally speaking, want their fucking parents to love them. We are hardwired to want that, right? So Piper wanting Tiffany to love her, to like her, wanting to please her mom, that's not, I feel like we're just using the wrong operative language here. And I know that that's just me being kind of a nitpicky asshole, but like, stay with me on this one. I do think when we're building a narrative about a parent or an adult being exploitative or abusive, we should be very clear that what happened is that Tiffany indoctrinated her daughter to believe that affection and love were contingent upon Piper winning things, Piper being noteworthy and Piper getting attention. That's very different, right? So of course, Piper wanted to please her mom, but that's because kids want their parents to fucking love them. As a responsible and healthy and safe parent, your job is to teach your child that you're pleased with them always, no matter what, because you just love them. Yeah, let's be clear. I don't think Otter Waffle said Auntie probably doesn't understand the odds that our Tiffany gave approval when she could exploit Piper, would make Piper want to be exploited. Yeah, I think this is just like a misunderstanding. Probably I'm not blaming the aunt, but I do think as far as like painting a narrative is concerned, it is important to place blame with the appropriate party, which is the adult who was responsible for keeping a child safe, i.e. their parents, primary caregivers. Okay, let's go. Yeah, Eldest Daughters Club. Woof. Okay, 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
She was the top performer in the South. But
this poor
Piper
child
was not in school. When Piper was 8 or so, Ashley said to Tiffany, you really need to get her in some kind of school, you know, it's her right to be able to learn. And that was a big fight. Her main focus was on Piper advancing socially. She could excel in performing and hold a conversation with an adult, go out and do these auditions.
Fucked up.
I didn't understand it, but you know, I supported them in whatever they wanted to do.
No.
It was the year 2017, and my daughter, Corinne, and I got an invitation from a friend to go and audition to be a backup dancer for a girl named Piper Raquel.
My friend told me that Piper was crowned on Musical.ly. It was so hard to get crowned on Musical.ly. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, cool.
Corinne was very interested in acting, singing, dancing, all that stuff. We were trying to do some more dancing gigs, so we took off school and we went to audition. When we walked in, there was a camera crew there, and it was for a show called Dance Twins.
Piper was really sweet. We clicked. We were talking to each other the whole time during the audition.
After filming that day, we realized that we both lived in Georgia, 20 minutes away from each other. So of course the girls are like, we want to get together. We want to do more.
The show is Trauma
together.
Soup. Heads
Me
up.
and Tiffany kind of bonded over, you know, our kids want to do this, so we're going to help them. Tiffany told me that she was really interested in doing YouTube because she had seen all these new families come along and were really, you know, taking off kind of doing social media.
That means I love you and goat.
Hey, can you clean up your toy room here, please?
Absolutely
Clean
not.
up.
Absolutely
Let me see.
not.
Okay, there's Emily. Oh my word. Okay, Ava, your turn.
Tiffany said to me, we could totally do that. Like, this could be really good.
I had never filmed a video before, so I was like, seems cool. Tiffany seemed like she was very in touch with social media.
Corinne! Yee-haw, girl! Piper! Yee-haw, girl!
Tiffany put it up on YouTube. And she texted me, she's like, do you see this? It's at 20,000 views. And I was like, wow, that's cool. Yeah. Cool.
Why do you think that is, though? This is the thing. When people make content like this, when they exploit their children, and then it goes viral, and they're like, wow, that's crazy. Is it? Why do you think that that's happening? Like, use your brain. I'm not necessarily blaming the moms. Well, I am blaming Tiffany. I'm not necessarily blaming this woman because it's possible, especially like we talked about, the internet influencing, all of that stuff wasn't really a phenomenon until the mid 2010s, right? So it's entirely possible that folks didn't understand what was going on there. And I think the lack of education around topics like this is part of why some parents are just sort of completely like not at all shocked by, the way that this content is being viewed. Hold on, what? Never mind. Yeah, Kyle, exactly. Old, gross people on the internet. That's not how I wanted to level up. That's fair, Muth. Yeah, toddlers with tiaras. That's very much the phenomenon here. I just want to be, I guess, like clear or like trying to provide some education around this, that when videos of children blow up on the internet like this, it's not because you hit the algorithm jackpot. Very rarely is that going to happen, right? There are large demographics of people who view and flock to and share videos like this with other people who are interested in viewing content like this, not because they have children, not because they're showing it to their kids who are Piper's same age, right? There's lots of reasons that folks are going to view content like this, and I would say most of them are pretty fucking gross. Hi, Pumpkin. 1111. As someone who worked with child actors in Hollywood who have legal protections, it's still something I would never recommend to any parent. These kids have zero protections and shit parents. Yeah. 100%. Okay, let's just keep going. 11 minutes and 48 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
I don't know. And she's like, now it's at 40. Now it's at 70.
That video got like over 1 million views. I had never gotten this type of like attention on social media before.
That's not a
I
good
was
thing.
excited.
That's so bad for their brains.
After that, we just continued and the videos did really well.
Yeah. I also want to pause here to talk about the way that our dopamine receptors are fucked with by interfacing with social media. As adults, we know very clearly, or definitively rather, that seeing, you know, numbers like vanity metrics, views, likes, things like that continue to go up. It's a dopamine hit, right? For your brain. Your brain is like, ooh, cool, happy, fun times. That feels good. It's validating of our self-worth. It makes us feel like people like us and people care about us. It sort of pushes the popularity, well-liked button that a lot of us want to experience. As adults, we're able to interface with that neurochemical reaction in a way that hopefully is still level-headed in some ways, right? Especially because we're, you know, past your frontal lobe being fully developed and things like that. We have access to therapy and we can work through our own things and kind of be more in the driver's seat of our own healing and self-esteem and self-efficacy and all of those things. But for a child, their brain is still developing. And so to be exposed to a dopamine reaction like this can be very damaging, especially for it to be routine, for it to be cyclical like this. This can fuck with a child's sense of self-efficacy, their self-esteem, their development, their identity. They're still figuring out who they are, what their worth is, what their values and beliefs are. And so when we interrupt that development by putting them in front of a dopamine slot machine, this fucks with their brains. This is very, very bad for their development. And often kids are going to develop self-esteem issues because of this. They're going to develop a crippling insecurity because of this, because a lack of likes, engagement, views equals less worthy, right? When we implement that belief in that value system into a developing child's brain, it's going to be much, much harder for that child to unlearn that because it's buried really deep in their psyche. That's when we're figuring out our beliefs about the world and who we are and how we fit into the world. It's a very tenuous time. This is why bullying, for example, can be really detrimental to somebody's self-esteem because we're little and we're still figuring out, do I have worth? You know, what makes me worthy? What makes other people worthy? Introducing things like this is going to interrupt that process in a way that's incredibly harmful to a child. Oh, this makes me really mad. Okay, 12 minutes, 11 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
After Dance Twins, Piper really starts to explode on social media. People start following her. They start getting more interested in her life. And so in 2017, she moves to LA.
Stop.
What?
So we're going to LA right now. Okay, just heading to the airport.
10 years old.
Well, yeah. We're heading to the airport.
What are you trying to do, 13? You want to go out into oncoming traffic?
Tiffany.
Unrelated. Don't put your fucking pets in the car without a carrier. That's really dangerous. If you get in an accident, that pet's going to go flying, which does all kinds of terrible things because their bodies and their bones and their little selves are very fragile. So if you're going to travel with a cat, dog, guinea pig, frog, whatever, put them in the appropriate carrier and make sure that that's secured in the car, please. Oh, yeah, the pet could run off too, right? We can accidentally press the button to open the door. We can accidentally open the door, leave the door open, and the pet runs off. Like, there's so many terrible things that can happen. Yeah, I think they called their cat 13. I don't know if that's the cat's name or not, but yeah. You may want to add animal abuse to the list of content warnings. Great. What a surprise. People who have a poor grasp of respect and kindness and care and compassion for children also seem to lack that for animals. Okay, 12 minutes and 39 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
And Piper grabbed their things and a couple of their cats and went to LA to pursue something bigger.
Los Angeles, I'm coming for you.
The entire Kidfluencer space is centered around Los Angeles. It is where all of the talent managers are, all the big agencies. Tiffany wanted success for her daughter. And so she's launched Piper's YouTube channel, developing a brand, becoming a personality online.
Hey guys, it's me and
Hunter and Tiffany and Piper met at a conference in LA when Hunter came down from Wyoming.
Hunter became a character on Piper's channel. He was posed as her brother. Very interesting to us as the family members because we're thinking, what?
What's up, guys? It's your boy Reagan Beast here with Hunter.
So that's not her brother. Oh, it just keeps getting worse. This is the kind of shit that, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's acting. This is the kind of shit that is starting to be very. I know you guys have already watched it, and I'm sure I'm just interrupting the reveal of things, but this is very telling, I think, about Tiffany's intentions here. That we're just straight up lying about this child's life. So Tiffany and Piper, Tiffany's the mom, Piper's the daughter, no dad in the picture. All of a sudden we move to LA and now we have a fake brother who also, like, who's this person? What do you mean we met in LA? And this is so dangerous. This is beyond. All right, 13 minutes and 35 seconds pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
I met Hunter after doing some videos and going over to Piper's place to just do collabs and such. He was doing a lot of camera work and he was their editor. Me being trans, I haven't had a lot of guy friends that aren't trans. Hunter was like an older brother. He made me feel safe. He was there for me.
I don't like where this is going.
There were jokes made by Hunter to me about, yeah, I get with Tiffany sometimes.
I think you're pretty.
It wasn't until after knowing Hunter, he was like, yeah, I'm Piper's.
Sorry, was that a video of them catcalling somebody? What the fuck? Oh, hi, Allie. This show is awful. Me too, Art. I'm scared to ask how old this brother is. Hold on to the bars. We're about to go off the rails. Okay. Yeah, this is so... There's just... We're in a room filled with red flags. Bye, Chloe. He was 20 when they met. So she's 10 and he's 20. 19. Still. 9-10 years older than this child. Oh, and legally an adult. Okay. 14 minutes and 10 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Brother on YouTube. On YouTube, we're siblings, but not biologically.
Big brother always wins.
He was Piper's brother off camera as well. Like, he really was this, like, guy that was there for Piper in this childish way, not in a stepfather way. But then I think secretly doing stuff with Tiffany. That was like, does Piper know that you have this relationship with her mom?
Hunter was Tiffany's very much younger boyfriend.
Hey guys, so we're back home. I look like the Grinch right now. So does Pipes. So does Tiff.
He was 19 or 20 and he moved in.
And they were all just creating content.
A lot of you guys requested my night routine because I already did a morning routine, so you're just gonna know all my routines.
Piper's personality was built to do social media.
No, it wasn't. It's not the aunt's fault. It's not her fault. I think the whole family has some really fucked up values, but Piper wasn't built to do anything. She's a kid. She learned that. Let's take a break to talk about the psychology of a young child's brain. People say a lot of times, especially like very fatigued parents, sometimes it's abusive parents, will talk about, you know, oh, my kid is manipulating me, right? Or, you know, my kid will do these things that they know that I want them to do to, you know, blah, 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 whatever. Young children especially have a very hard time placing themselves in the shoes of other people because they haven't cognitively developed enough to effectively do that. Especially young teenagers, right? Piper's not a teenager, but just for the sake of making an example. Young teenagers go through a developmental phase where they sort of feel like the star of their own movie, right? It's a very like inward focused view of the world. That's developmentally appropriate. That's also why it's very difficult to parent teenagers sometimes, because it's hard to contend with this little human who has very volatile and overwhelming emotions that they themselves don't know how to control, but they also tend to be looking inward a lot. And so this developmental stage is contentious for that reason, right? And so little kids especially, they struggle to put themselves in the shoes of other people. Empathy is not something that they have really wrapped their arms around yet. And so in order to be a person who can manipulate others, you need to have some aspect of empathy, or at least like an understanding of what other people's emotions are, like the cause and effect of those things, right? Little children, especially babies, they don't have a good grasp on that yet. So for them to be able to manipulate you, we're talking in like the tenths of percentages, right? It's exceedingly rare. Children don't do that. Children don't manipulate other people. They do, however, learn about replicating behaviors for the purpose of survival in childhood, right? And so especially when children are little and they're in abusive homes, children can learn what behaviors they're meant to be replicating because their primary caregivers either don't harm them or reward them for that behavior, right? So this is why for those of us that are people pleasers in adulthood, you likely at some point in your life, often in childhood, had an adult in your life who either punished you for not pleasing them or positively rewarded you for pleasing them, right? So the love is contingent on you doing the thing that I want thing. This is a lot of the reason why adults will turn out as people pleasers, because they've learned that if I am very checked in to my parents' emotions, right, then I can adequately, most times, predict how to sort of fawn all over this person to get out of the way, right? So that if I can feel when my dad is starting to get upset, I can do X, Y, or Z things in order to either bring the barometer down in the household or to please my dad enough that they don't become physically abusive to me or to, verbally abuse me by yelling at me and things like that. And so this is where that behavior comes from. So to say that like this child was built for social media, no, she was not. No, she was not. She learned very early that that's what her mother wanted from her. And so she learned how to replicate the behaviors that kept her out of harm's way and kept her in the good circle, right? It's the good boy, good girl thing, right? Especially, this is, for what it's worth, this is also why it's a little bit problematic to tell your kids like, good girl, good boy, when they're little, because you can sort of accidentally teach them that they're only good. They're only good people when they do what you want them, which is not good. Try not to do that. So I want to be very clear. First of all, children can't manipulate anybody, so please stop saying that. And also, when children seem to demonstrate an affinity for something, sure, maybe it's partially their personality. Maybe Piper's just a very extroverted child. And maybe that child was just behaviorally primed from a very young age to believe that her love and affection and her approval was contingent on her being the way that her mother wanted her to be. And that's a very important distinction. Because again, regardless of whether Piper actually is just like great at being on social media, that doesn't change the fact that that's inappropriate for her to be there. And I sincerely doubt that Piper shot out of the womb with a deep desire to be running a fucking kids brat pack, whatever it is. What's the better way to verbalize it? Great job. You can provide positive reinforcement about like, wow, you know, I bet that felt really good. Or, you know, if you're teaching your kid to tie their shoes, right, and they do it great, you can be like, wow, that was really fun. Or that probably felt really good, or really good try. You know, I'm proud of you, whatever. But in other moments, we want to continue to say they're a good boy, they're a good girl, they're a good person, they're loved and cherished, whatever, just because, right? We want to continue to provide that reassurance that even in moments where, you know, they do the wrong thing, right? Or they've disobeyed the boundaries and the expectations of the household, that we still love them, that we are still proud of them, that they're still good people who are worthy, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Especially making the distinction between behaviors and personhood, right? So when a child does something that you've asked them not to, hey, you know, like, especially like for kids who hit other kids or whatever, hey, that wasn't nice, right? We don't do that. Hitting people is not kind. Not like, oh, that's so bad, you're so bad, naughty. Don't say things like that, right? Making the distinction between behavior and personhood is really how we avoid that. When I was nannying, I would use thank you for anything where we were learning, sharing, and interactive play. Yeah, exactly. Instead of saying like, wow, good job, or like, good girl, for sharing, we can praise the behavior, say thank you. Like, wow, that felt nice, thanks. When talking to kids, I try to say things like, you should be proud of yourself. Not, I'm proud of you. Yeah. That's something to be proud of, right? Yeah. It's a small thing. And to be clear, if you like every now and again, even for parents, you know, if you're generally speaking a good and attentive and emotionally checked in parent, if you say things like good girl, good boy, good person, whatever, that's not going to single-handedly break their self-esteem. Let's be clear about that. Try not to develop like a disproportionate amount of anxiety around that. And when you remember, if you're able to, it is good practice. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. A bit of a diatribe. All right, 15 minutes and 2 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
You could act in such a way and make it seem so real.
Because she's been trained to.
Piper.
Also, a child doesn't have a nighttime
button.
routine.
Everyone loved her. She had a way to draw people in that just felt so authentic.
Because she's
Tiffany
been trained to.
Built a very viable brand on normalcy from a kid's point of view.
Yeah, none of this is fucking normal. Let's be clear about that.
Piper's brand became, Tiffany found an opportunity to make it bigger.
What you doing?
Making a sandwich. So, what kind of sleepover is this?
Just a typical sleepover. You won't even hear us.
Piper very quickly lands a spot on the show Manny, produced by Brat. Brat is essentially the Disney Channel for the internet. They've had really popular shows. Manny was a breakout hit on YouTube.
Where do you think you're going? All nannies participate in the makeup hour.
Well, this Manny not. Manny don't do that.
Manny was about this nanny who was a man. And Piper played a character named Sky on the show, and she was the preppy, rich kid.
Welcome to Sky's 4-step guide to popularity. Step 1, rid yourself from all bad vibes.
I played the gothic, emo girl. Anything that goth girl did, Piper would do the opposite. I had no idea who Piper was, like, at all. I didn't know she had a social media presence at all.
Sophie didn't even have an Instagram account when she joined Manny. They all insisted she needed one if she was on this Brat show, because everyone on the Brat platform was pretty big on social media. Sophie got her first job on the show Manny as a background actor. They liked her character so much that it took off.
I wear black to disappear.
We met Piper and Tiffany on set. And then after that, I talked to Piper a lot. From there, Tiffany and Piper asked me to be in a YouTube video. And it was the Freaky Friday video. Piper Raquel's character, Sky, switches characters with Goth Girl. That was my first experience of getting to know them.
That's
Tiffany
fucked
would
up.
always
Okay, listen. This is a difficult subject to talk about because of the way that the algorithm discourages discussion of things like this. And as, I don't know, awareness, I guess, I want to encourage people to remember that when you see content like this, of children especially, and there are videos on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, that seem to have a surprising amount of engagement and likes and favorites, saves especially, that the content is sometimes produced with shitty intentions, right? So this is a hard thing to talk about. I want to encourage people to remember, or to be very critical of the actual actions that are taking place in videos like this, the things that children are being coached to do. For example, there was a video of a child on TikTok that went super, super, super viral because the child was, I think, eating gum or being fed gum, right? We talked earlier about how that content often goes viral for reasons that aren't related to other children finding it aspirational. And so things like that are good to look out for. I want to encourage people to be aware of that. It's just very similar to the way that content of people baking stuff on Facebook goes viral, right? This doesn't have anything to do with what is ostensibly taking place in these videos. Yeah, it's fucking gross. It's disgusting. And especially parents like this are often aware of the imagery that they're evoking. And so especially seeing content like that, report things like that. Note that that's not something you're interested in. Try to, in all ways possible, remove that. We can always jump ship. I know. I'm strongly considering it. Try to remove that from your algorithm as much as possible and report that content as many times as you're able to, because yeah. Okay. Ooh, anyways, yeah, I had a feeling me before E. All right, 17 minutes and 16 seconds pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Invite Sophie for a sleepover, and then they would do a video.
Time is it? It is 11:10. So it's getting a little late.
At that point, I didn't know anything about YouTube. I just thought they were kids filming videos. Piper and Sophie hit it off instantly.
These poor children.
We really connected. We started to grow closer on set. That's where we connected and found a lot of similarities. I felt like no one understood me. And I feel like she was the only one who actually put an effort and actually tried to get to know me. Anything that I was feeling, we would just talk about.
We became best friends. I've never really had a best friend before. We literally are like sisters right now.
I know we're not playing cute, nostalgic music
We both did Manny
under
for a
this.
while. And then there was the camp season. And that's when Tiffany was essentially mad that another character had gotten more lines than Piper. Tiffany came to set. She pulled Piper off the set, and she was screaming all about the place. You're not gonna cut my daughter from the show. She created this show. She was the beginning of this. And she was like, Sophie, you need to come with us. And I was like, I'm not gonna come with you. That's not what I'm gonna do, because I'm being professional on a set, because I don't believe in burning bridges. It started to get stressful. Tiffany was upset. She just was barely talking to me. She dragged her off set. The producers ran after her. They, I think, stopped him at a gas station. She did not come back at all. I stayed filming, and it took a toll on our friendship. So Piper and I essentially stopped being friends.
Show.
I realized Tiffany was unstable. and that you had to be careful on what you were doing around her.
That's so fucked up that a child
I never
realized that.
expressed that to anyone. I just kind of kept that to myself.
Oh, this poor child.
When Tiffany and Piper lived in LA, they would come back to Georgia and visit us for holidays and birthdays, or just, you know, spend some time with my mom and dad. This is around the time that Piper started having a relationship with Claire.
Piper is my cousin by marriage, and she is Patience's niece, and my mom is married to Patience. I was always obsessed with having something to do with the camera, whether it be behind the camera or in front of the camera. So it was crazy to think that I had some sort of relation to Piper. I looked up to...
Real quick, this is also why not having a greater conversation about media literacy and parents being able to educate their kids about influencing and YouTube and all of those things is a real problem. Especially if you're a parent, I'm begging you, please be aware of what your child is consuming on TV, on YouTube, on social media, because the messaging that they're being exposed to has a lot of impression on what their idea of success and safety and, I don't know, popularity, right? Their worthiness looks like, which is a problem. Hi, Wi-Fi depression. Thanks for coming to the live. It's trauma soup today. I'm so sorry. So anyways, please, if you're a parent, make an effort to check in on what your kids are watching and consuming content-wise, because it does influence their idea of success. And there are so many kids who think that becoming a YouTuber is their first choice of career, right? And so they will forego things like job training and college and skill building that can be very detrimental, right? And we all know that I hate capitalism and that I think none of us should have to trade our time and attention and our labor for the right to live. And we do, unfortunately. So it is important that we provide kids with some kind of realistic, I don't know, education. Kyle, thank you for the 5 memberships. Welcome to the 5 of you who are new or returning McNugs. But we need to be providing kids with education about a realistic choice in terms of being able to provide for themselves or to at least meet their basic needs, right? Especially in the United States, where social services now more than ever are not going to adequately meet somebody's needs. It's very important that we have a conversation. If they're people who can realistically participate in the workforce that they need to be aware that being an influencer is not something that you just do, right? You don't apply for a job and get the job and start making millions of dollars. And also, the people who make millions of dollars at influencing are like the 1%, right? That's not a thing. We've talked about this before, but there are thousands of people who are great content creators who make wonderful and informative and valuable content that don't ever hit it big, that don't ever make enough money to pay their bills. Not because they're not good at what they're doing, but because the algorithm is fickle and unkind sometimes. Yeah, Nikki, if you ever see somebody making baking content without any utensils to stir whatever it is that they're baking, eyebrow raise. Okay. Anyways, let's keep going. 20 minutes and 10 seconds. Pressing play. In 3, 2, 1.
Her so much.
I watched her before I really knew she was my cousin, so I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, is there another person named Piper? The first time I met her, I was like, oh my gosh, and like I was so happy. I was like literally blown away by that.
The connection between Piper and Claire and Reese, we saw it as such an avenue for Tiffany and Patience to connect, because they didn't have a relationship.
Growing up, Tiffany and I were very close. She's 4 years older than I am. I always looked up to her, and we spent a lot of time with each other, and, you know, we got along really well. But all of us were affected by the divorce. That's when I began to definitely see a change in Tiffany. She definitely became more aggressive, physically and verbally, and I chose not to speak to Tiffany.
I pushed her in a way to try to have a much healthier relationship with her family.
Okay, you can wish and blow out the candles.
I was excited to possibly have a connection with my sister again. 2 moms, 2 sisters, you know, raising girls together.
Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna go spend $30 and get ourselves the best costume.
I made my first video with Piper in 2018. I did not know who she was. I thought, this is another kid that does what I want to do and makes YouTube videos. This is great.
How old are these kids now?
I am in a pirate
10 or
outfit. Look
11?
for me, guys.
I'm Sawyer, this is my outfit. If you want
The very first video did all right, but Tiffany invited us back to make more videos.
So today we are going to be getting super long acrylic nails.
And as Piper's channel continued to skyrocket and climb, Tiffany and Piper start adding new people to the clique.
We have Sawyer. Hey. We have Hayden. Yo. We have Gavin.
Tiffany wanted a group of kids, modeling it after Friends. Friends was highly successful. She knew it. She's like, we can get this group and keep growing it. She thought it would be a hit.
All right.
Oh, God.
Camera lower.
Corinne had always wanted to do acting. So we moved to Hollywood. Very quickly when we got there, Tiffany asked if we could do a video.
A few months after the whole Manny incident, Tiffany had reached out to like my mom apologizing, saying that Viper really missed me, and she was very sad about the entire situation. After that, we started filming a lot more together.
They all got together one day to film, and people were like, oh my gosh, it's a squad. And Tiffany just took that, ran, loved it. She's like, that's what we're gonna call it, the squad.
It's Piper. Go.
I never went to public school, so I never really had like a big friend group. I was like, I need some help with the YouTube channel, so I was like, do you want to do YouTube with me? And they started, and we kind of all just had this amazing bond.
And so the squad was formed.
Okay, if we're 20, or we're 11 in 2018, then in 2020, we were 13, and now, okay, we're 18. Right? Did I do my math wrong? She was born in 2007. Somehow that helps me less. Oh, yeah. So in 2027, she'll be 20. So yeah, -2 is 18. Oh, that makes sense. Why we're suing now. Modeling a group of kids' friendships to put on the internet off of the adult show Friends is crazy. Yeah. This is also the thing that, like, when people talk about, you know, Tiffany being like a mastermind and built this amazing brand, like, did we? We modeled it after a TV show that was successful in the 90s. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that that's not necessarily, that's not like a bad strategy necessarily, but it's not groundbreaking, right? Yeah. It's not like this person is some kind of social media guru. There's a fair amount of reasons why this content probably took off, and I would say very few of them have to do with Tiffany's unique and specific social media expertise. Doop. They're trying to stop that from happening. I don't know what that means. Oh God. Yeah, that's terrible. Okay. 23 minutes and 31 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Group of other child content creators that are built around Piper. It's like her supporting cast of characters.
Which is also really bad for everyone's
make no mistake,
self-esteem,
she is
by the
always
way.
at the center. She is the star.
I'm in love.
Oh my gosh.
Tiffany wasn't the first person to think of a squad.
Time to mess up our bodies some more. Ooh, what it's gonna be.
There was Jake Paul's Team 10. David Dobrik's group was the Sidemen. Lots of other older people doing that out there.
Notably, all of which ended in disaster because almost all of these people were fucking either shitty people or were victims of the shitty people. So, again, not a life-changing social media strategy, or novel social media strategy, rather. And in fact, one that seems to be steeped in problematic behavior and power issues. So, for what it's worth. All right, 24 minutes and 4 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
They're on the internet.
This is that exact same formula, just with kids.
Well, I guess that's it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed.
Why are you wearing my outfit? Why are you wearing my outfit?
As these kids start to hit these massive numbers and going viral, building
So
all of
bad
these
for their
followers, they became this massive success. And everyone's watching.
How do you think they're gonna react?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Piper.
Being liked in the public eye, it will give you confidence, it'll give you an ego boost, it'll make you feel good. And I think that's why people want it so bad. Makes you feel special.
Yes, which is
At
bad
one
for
point,
children.
we were
That's
actually
dangerous.
The top 11-year-olds in the world on like famous birthdays and all these different websites.
Also, again, just want to be clear, I would say 95% of this content is fake, right? Let's also put that out there, that especially children who watch this content think that this is silly haha, oh my gosh, right? She didn't know that there's flour in the hairdryer. She knew, right? This was orchestrated by an adult who set this whole thing up. And so especially for children who aren't aware that that's fake, this is very dangerous, because then we can start doing things like replicating this behavior, which is in fact very dangerous. So please, I'm begging, if you're a parent, double check what your kids are fucking watching on YouTube and on the internet and on TV, because especially vlog type content has the ability to accidentally give kids the impression that this is normal behavior, right? That it's perfectly socially acceptable and okay and common even to run into a CVS and start causing a muck, right? Running amok, whatever. And to pull these pranks on your friends that are they're actually really dangerous, and to be talking to people in this way that's really inappropriate. It paints a picture of life that is incredibly inaccurate. But when children consume this content and they're not aware of that, they start replicating this behavior that's really dangerous, that's really problematic, and that's just generally not good for them. Yeah, Sailor Moon. These kids go viral. Everyone's watching. Makes you feel so special. It's so bad. I know, Yugi. I mean, when you're an adult, I think it's fairly obvious, but for children. Yeah, Lisa, like that is a real problem. And YouTube doesn't seem to do anything about it. Okay, anyways. 24 minutes and 59 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
We are going on tour!
Oh,
There
no.
was thousands of kids. Like, it was insane. There was a line wrapped around the block, and it made me more motivated. Like, wow, I want to keep going. I want this to do well. I want it to be amazing, all or nothing.
Getting to see the subscribers and numbers go up was absolutely amazing. It was still one of the happiest moments of my life, getting to see that number hit 1 million. It was something that I had always dreamed about.
Today I'm gonna be showing you.
This is what I'm fucking talking about. This person who is now, maybe, I think, an adult, is talking about the vanity metrics of this channel being one of the happiest moments of their lives. That's so bad for your brain. That's not good. That's not good. It also trains kids to be more invested in the fake version of themselves and of the internet than they are in their real lives and their genuine relationships, which is so fucking bad for your brain. I have a whole video about the way that our brains interface with digital media. If you haven't watched it, it's the video where we talk about how horror movies affect your brain. Go watch that because it explains the whole mechanics of it all. It's very bad for you. Not horror movies. Horror movies are not bad for you. But to be this enmeshed, this immersed in the way that the world perceives you via social media, not good for your brain. Okay, you know what? We're going to take a break, actually, because we're about halfway through. And I think it would be good for us all to have some water, a little snack, and to get some stretching in. So it is 11:52 my time. We'll be back in, we'll do 13 minutes. So it's a quarter past whatever time it is for you, and 15 minutes. We'll come back at that time. We're just watching one episode today, Joe. Quite frankly, I don't think I could handle any more than that. So, okay, we're at 25 minutes and 36 seconds. It's 11:52 now, so I'll see you guys in 13 minutes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hopefully I didn't jump scare everybody in Discord. Oh my God. Scooter Booter, I'm so sorry. I tried to be as gentle as possible, I promise. I'm new here. Fair enough. Eric, stop. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Okay. I thought about it over break. We're going to finish this episode because we started it. We may as well finish it. But we're going to reassess whether we're going to continue watching this next week because, quite frankly, the spoilers, I guess, what you guys have told me about episode 2 makes me incredibly uncomfortable. So we might just watch something else next week. I'll update you guys. I'll let you know. But like I said, we already started it. We may as well finish it, and just go from there. So, yeah, MCAR, me too. Me too. Hi, Barry. Okay, are we ready to get started again? All right, the overlay is on. Hi, LG again. Oh, yeah. All right, we're at 25 minutes and 34 seconds-ish. Hi, Caldy. We are watching an incredibly traumatizing show that is called Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. So trigger warnings for all of the child mistreatment in every way. And lots of really problematic power dynamics and things like that as well. So, okay, let's keep going. 25 minutes and 34 seconds-ish. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
What's going on at my house?
Hey guys, I'm Piper Raquel, and I'm so excited to be here. I cannot believe that I hit 1 million on YouTube.
You hit 1 million subscribers in a year and a half. That's insane.
I know.
She is an entrepreneur, a singer, a YouTube star. Piper Raquel is here to talk about her new song, Treat Myself.
Oh, of course. No, thank you. We don't need that. No. We're all good on that. I can't stay, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi to the coolest people on the internet. Danny, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you so much. Sad you can't stay, but thanks for hanging out. Or popping in anyways.
YouTube fame skyrockets, and she starts earning tons of money. YouTube has a revenue share program with content creators that's radically different than all other platforms.
If you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications.
It's called monetizing their content. One is the direct money paid by YouTube.
You upload content, YouTube puts some ads in there, and then you get a portion of that ad revenue.
You also monetize by doing things like brand deals and partnerships and getting products and brands to pay you to promote them.
Look how cute they are. They're so cute.
The phenomenon of like older people who don't know anything about social media trying to explain this is really funny to me. Yeah, for what it's worth, in case you didn't know, the AdSense that YouTubers make is very, very little of the actual money that people make on YouTube. This is why people run sponsorships so often, myself included, because AdSense is like, I don't know, it's like money, I guess, but it's not enough money, especially to justify the amount of effort that goes into videos sometimes. During a normal workday, I get like a quarter of my work done for the day, and in the last hour, when I'm getting off early and getting anything done, the last hour actually feels impossible. No, that's very fair. I feel like that's a pretty relatable neurodivergent experience. I ditched my class early because tummy pain in the movie we were watching was an acid trip. Oh, Nadia, I'm so sorry. Okay, 26 minutes and 57 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Walmart is going pretty smooth. Thank you so much, Walmart.
You can drive brand deals through exposure. Brands want to drop money so that they can get 50 million impressions in 3 days. That is what these influencers can do.
Thank you so much, Mattel.
Crazy amount of impressions.
See what this Glimmer looks like.
The market cap of the content creator industry is, I think, supposed to pass $500 billion by 2027. That honestly feels low.
Where'd you get that disgusting hoodie? This disgusting hoodie?
There's merch sales, there's touring tickets. All of these different revenue streams are almost feeding each other to create this multi-platform, multi-million-dollar business.
There's kids that are making 6 figures a month in this space. 6 figures a month.
As a child.
One Christmas, there was an Apple computer, brand new Canon camera. There was like a Louis Vuitton bag. That's when I realized this is bigger than I even know. I didn't really know about the monetization of YouTube.
This is why
I
it's
wasn't
dangerous.
clear in that. I was a single mom, living in Hollywood with a kid, and Tiffany knew that. She knew the struggles. She told me that, you know, you can really make money at this. And I was like, oh, really? Like, she's like, oh yeah, she makes a lot of money, enough to handle all your bills. And I was like, oh, are the girls' videos making money? She's like, oh yeah. And at that point, YouTube was just fun for Corinne.
I would be so
So
mad.
we didn't really think about that aspect of it.
My best friend is so much better than you.
So then that's when I kind of just started thinking, if you're making all this money, and you're telling me about the money now, where's our money? You know, we weren't getting any money. And she was like, oh, she's getting exposure. People know her.
You knew that they were making money off of your kid, but you also believed that your kid is growing and that your kid will benefit by being able to get views himself and to get brand deals and to be a content creator himself.
Nope. Mistletoe. Oh, a bow.
Tiffany's proposition was basically, I'm going to help you make this money. So, okay, now I'll see something for what we're doing.
Guys, can I have some water?
This is water.
So we're doing the pyramid. Corinne! Oh my god, are you okay? I need to go get her some water. Wake up!
There's a lot of money to be made in this space. And in order to do that, you have to hit the algorithms. You have to get people to engage with you. The algorithm is built so that it can watch all of this footage and say, okay, person X, you want to see this content, so let's put it at the top of your page. And so it takes a lot of experience in the space to understand how can I get enough comments, enough likes, enough shares to go viral.
So you guys might be wondering who edits these videos. It's obviously the editor, and like, where does he edit the videos?
Hunter is basically the one who helps the YouTube algorithm, suggests content times. He said he learned the sauce. How you get...
Okay, let's just take a pause here really quick. First of all, for children to be aware of this is so problematic. This is very bad, again, for their brains, because really all we're doing is teaching these kids that their worthiness, their value is, again, in views and impressions and things like that. No child should be aware of those things. Yeah, we're more than half the way through this episode. But also this attitude that we discovered the sauce. That's probably not real. Listen, there are definitely things that you can do to improve your likelihood of your content being viewable and being discoverable and all of those things, right? And the days of cracking the code of the algorithm are long behind us. That's not a thing. Especially like when kids talk about wanting to be influencers and wanting to be famous, like David Dobrik and like Jenna Marbles and, you know, all of these people who sort of came up as the original influencer crew of the mid to late 2000s. Or the 2010s rather, that's not a thing anymore. That's not a thing that you can realistically do because the platform is so oversaturated with content. So again, this narrative that we're pushing of like, well, you know, they became famous because they're just so much better. This is a lot of adults making the conscious choice to frame what they're doing as, oh, well, you know, we just wanted to give our kids the best chance at blah, blah, blah. Nope. This expectation that, oh no, well, our kids became famous because we put in a lot of hard work or we hired the right people, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the popularity of content like this has to do with people who have nefarious intentions viewing and saving this content and sharing it with other people who have nefarious intentions to view and save the content. This is very frustrating to me, to have adults who are exploiting their children, probably knowing full well why a good portion of the people who are watching this content are watching it, but acting like, oh, they were popular because we just hired the right people. It seems like a very intentional attempt to cover up the fact that at least one, if not a couple of these parents were likely aware that the popularity of their children and their content had to do with some really fucked up shit, which bothers me. That's not okay. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exploiting your child is not a brag, and making excuses for that is worse. Thank you guys for saying nice things about my hair, by the way. I saw a couple of you say that. That's very kind. I vote we switch to what? To Scandinavian style social democracy. There's a few Nathan For You episodes that showed me parents will ignore a lot of questions or questionable behavior for a paycheck. 100%. And that's very much what this is. And so this whole narrative of we went viral because we made great professional choices. Allie, because we made great professional choices and totally not because we knew that we were exposing our kids to predators. Like, be fucking serious. Okay, 30 minutes and 25 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Got more views, how you got better ads, how you got the hashtags in the right places to draw people to your videos. Just basically optimizing your videos, making sure the most people saw them as possible.
I know that we're not talking about
My
SEO like
first
it's rocket
experience,
science.
like making social media and posting videos was when I was like 8 or 9. I didn't understand the analytics of it and how that helped the video or anything.
Today, I'm gonna go catch me some gold diggers.
When we joined the squad, we had to hand over the channel to Hunter. We gave him the login and everything. And I was really excited for him to make the videos do even better. And, you know, it was a little bit hard to hand over something that I'd worked so hard to create, but it seemed like a really good opportunity and the right thing to do at the time.
That's not good.
Hey,
no.
Hey, do you wanna go get lunch with me or something?
Are you even old enough to drive?
You can drive. Here, let's go.
The way that we societally talk about young boys behaving this way around adult women is super fucked. Oh, this is also a really hard thing to talk about without using words that's going to get the video taken down. If we as a culture accept, rightfully so, that an adult man behaving that way towards a child, like a little girl, is disgusting and abusive, and I know that this is staged. Fair, whatever. And it is still problematic. It's a fucked up thing to film. It's not funny, especially. It's not cute. It's not, wow, what a player. It's creepy and gross and fucked up. And the expectation that an adult woman behaving that way with a little boy is totally fine is so fucked. It's also a product of misogyny and patriarchy and just fucking... Oh, these poor kids. They're just being fucking indoctrinated, like, at every turn with problematic beliefs. Allie, exactly. Okay, 31 minutes and 28 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Randomly looking at open houses in the Hollywood Hills. It's everyone's dream to live in the Hollywood Hills when you move to California. It was a beautiful house, and it was huge. Tiffany and Hunter and Piper lived in an apartment, and we had an apartment. The house ended up being only a couple thousand more than all of us were paying. So we're like, if we combine, we could get a place to shoot content.
Tiffany was really excited. My mom was pretty excited, and Hunter was excited. I did not want to move in. I always felt uneasy with Tiffany just because I knew that she wasn't stable. That was something that was like always in my mind.
I honestly just really loved the house. And there was like a yard for the kids to run around, and it felt safe. And
the people who live in it are fucked up.
New friend, somebody who understood the same situation I was in. You're a single mom trying to make it.
Piper came to me about everything. She felt like she could just talk about the things she was struggling with. And she really got close with my mom too. Piper had pulled my mom aside and asked her to come move in with her because she was like, I need a stable parent. I don't have that. She didn't really have a mother. She just had this person in her life who made her do content and wasn't really there in her best interest. I think that's kind of what made us say yes.
Piper became like a second child. They became our family.
That's
okay,
not
so
good.
who are better?
All right, judges, are you guys ready to vote?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes! Silence! Sentence turn!
Making videos seems fun at first. It's not fun all the time. You don't always want to get up and put on a smile and sit there for hours in front of a camera talking.
I have my orange and my olive oil.
We were shooting for everyone's channel because Tiffany gave everyone a channel.
Okay, whatever. So my name's Ramona.
We were filming like 10 to 15 videos a day.
Jesus
Everyone had to be there
Christ.
at 11 a.m. and we would shoot till 1 a.m. to 2 a.m.-ish.
Why are
So
we
that's a
shooting so
long
late?
work day.
This is illegal. There are legal protections around the amount of work that you can ask a child to do as a child actor or actress in traditional media. There are also legal protections about how often kids are supposed to go to school. Well, yeah, that's the thing, Aria. They didn't, especially Piper, at least as far as we're aware. That's true, at least in most states, yeah. But Piper for sure didn't go to public school, and it seems like there's some real loose appreciation for whatever homeschool or, I don't know, education that they were supposedly providing Piper, at least. Unschooling, yeah. In California, you have a minimum amount of hours of schooling that is required for working children. Yeah, thank you, Christine. Well, that's the thing. Pepsi Cola. The way influencers get around child actor work laws. This is why this is such a problem and why so many children who have been subjected to this and are now grown are raising awareness and pushing back on this, I don't know, phenomenon. Because there aren't any legal protections. It's an unregulated space where children are very much being forced to work and not provided with their, I don't know, bare minimum care requirements. But because it's not technically considered, you know, like child acting in film or television or whatever, there isn't really any kind of formal limits around what you can ask or force these kids to do. Bye. Thank you for coming to stream. The way Piper was literally reparenting herself before she turned 18. Yeah, social media not being regulated is a huge problem in the child labor space. All right, 33 minutes and 48 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Action, Sophie.
All right, guys, so we really have to be so early.
I would go to bed for like 2 to 3 hours, get up around like 6, 7-ish and do school. Close my tablet, and then I would have to get ready to film. And then do it all over
so
again.
sad.
And this was every day of the week. We did not get a break at all.
Give me a call. I got it.
Piper, to make up for it, just let me know if you want me to be your personal assistant for the day. Just
Okay, action.
Okay.
Tiffany is the type of person who wanted to be in control of what Piper was doing and how the video went. There was frustration with her and her mom where she would say something wrong and her mom would yell at her. Like, Piper, like, you know better, like, do this better. And she'd be like, okay, like, I'm trying, like, and stuff like that.
Guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like, Sawyer, here, look, let's do this better. Sawyer, turn around.
Eventually it became, you're just being told what to do, like you're a puppet.
Come on!
Enough stalling. Let's get this done.
Okay, so Sawyer, standing how Piper is,
Standing how Piper is. Facing that direction.
Good, yes, stand exactly.
It's work. Maybe 1 out of 50 videos you film you actually enjoyed and were yourself in. But it was a lot of faking it to try and make a good video.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's obvious. Yeah, the way they talk about Piper in the past tense is very uncomfortable. I think it's because Piper is just not in their lives anymore. Yeah, Mackenzie. Caroline, big shout out to Sherry Frankie for her work to ban family vlogging. Yeah, she's been a very vocal advocate about it. I was gonna say something. The 2 to 3 hours of sleep issue, big problem. Very, very big problem. For those of you that are not aware, sleep deprivation is a behavior control method that's used in cult recruitment. It's very common for folks who are sleep deprived to not make choices that are reflective of their like true values and beliefs. Obviously, you're much more easily moldable when you're delirious, literally. And so this especially is a real problem. Okay. 35 minutes and 12 seconds, pressing play. In 3, 2, 1.
With Corinne actually doing real acting, real dancing, real jobs, we knew you're supposed to have a teacher on set.
We had to do school. 6 hours of school.
We knew you're supposed to have hours you're supposed to work. You're supposed to have food. You're supposed to have all those things.
So then why are you
Traditional child entertainers are subject to a bunch of rules that frankly took decades to be put in place. You had this reckoning in the early half of the 1900s around famous child stars of yesteryear that were not paid, they were exploited. And so you saw these laws form that were meant to protect these child stars. Unfortunately, when it comes to new forms of work and new media, there are no labor protections.
Ladies, guys, we're supposed to be filming Sophie's YouTube video right now.
Oh, we are, yeah.
Why is she... Sophie! Sophie!
Because Tiffany and Hunter were doing YouTube videos, they believed that they were outside of the arena where those laws applied.
All right, Sophie, wake up right now. We're supposed to be filming your YouTube video. Why are you sleeping?
Because we're gonna be doing a video.
Pull yourself together.
That's intense.
The comfort with which that person is yelling at them is incredibly distressing.
If you don't know Bombay Beach is, it's an abandoned town, and we catch cats there. It's just a lot of fun.
Not this. Please,
Originally,
no.
Tiffany and Piper had 2 cats. Then we started rescuing more and more cats, and we rescued so many that we had 36 cats throughout the house.
Make it stop.
Growing up, we had 20, 30 cats at a time.
What?
They weren't indoors, they were outside. It was cold out, we'd let them come in the basement.
What?
It's very similar to how Tiffany lives her life still.
Okay, the couple of things. First of all, I think a lot of people have the false understanding that rescuing cats and taking them in like that is an inherently nice thing to do. That's not necessarily true. For those of you that aren't aware, most places have a TNR program. It stands for Trap, Neuter, Release. And generally speaking, cats ideally are not meant to be outside. And I know that a lot of y'all are going to crawl up my ass about it. This is not me telling you you're a bad cat owner or me judging you. Whatever. Do whatever you want with your own life. And the truth based on the facts alone, is that cats being outdoor animals is bad for the environment. They kill birds at a rate that is not supportable by their sort of natural reproduction rates. And so it creates a lot of problems for the local ecosystem. And it also is entirely possible that your cat can become accidentally pregnant and create more kittens, or that your cat could impregnate another cat and create more kittens that then have to go to a shelter. And it's a whole thing. So generally speaking, cats being indoor cats is better for them and for the environment. Be mad about it. That's fine. You can hate me for that, whatever. And the phenomenon of rescuing all of these cats and taking them into one home is probably not good for them. It's, I would say, very unlikely that someone could actually care for this many animals effectively. Like, for example, somebody mentioned litter boxes. Like, how many litter boxes do they have? Generally speaking, the recommendation is that you should have 2 litter boxes, or 1 litter box per cat, and then 1 extra one, I think. So, like, I have 2 cats, and I think you should have 3 litter boxes, right? I think that's the rule. So for 36 cats, you should have like 37, 38 litter boxes. At this point, we're starting to tiptoe into like hoarding behavior. And it's not a realistic possibility that these cats are actually being appropriately like mentally stimulated. They're not probably receiving enough enrichment. They're probably having social problems. There's no way that 36 cats are all getting along with each other. They're very territorial animals. They're very private animals. Having this much stuff all in their face all the time is going to create a lot of problems. We would have been much better off participating in a TNR program and or taking these cats to the shelter, rehoming these cats with friends, or alternatively, just don't go and like steal cats. Because it's also possible that these are somebody else's fucking cats. It's all bad. This also really feels like a pattern of behavior at this point, like a sort of concerted lack of care for the autonomy and inherent worth and value of other beings, right? The sort of viewing of other living creatures, humans, animals, whatever, as objects seems to be kind of a theme with this woman. I let my cats get fresh air and put them in the harness so they don't go far beyond my porch. Yeah, sure, right? And people have catios, right? People take their cats for walks. It's not that your cat's being outside is bad. That's a good point, Mackenzie, because cats getting outdoor time can be great enrichment for them. And leaving cats just unattended for a good amount of time outdoors can be problematic. Also, if your cat goes outside, please make sure that you're doing flea and tick prevention and heartworm prevention. It's very important. I don't like cats. I want a catio though. Screen porches, man. Same. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, this is just a PSA that cats and pets generally are in fact very emotional and sensitive beings. And so please don't adopt pets without a care and concern for their well-being, for their individuality, for their emotions. And also please don't adopt pets if you have like absolutely no means to care for them or provide for them. If you can't provide them with like enough food or medical care, if there is a problem or whatever, then making the choice, especially to adopt like 36, for example, probably not a fucking good idea. Yeah, you can't collect them all. Yeah, they're not Pokemon. Okay, 37 minutes and 9 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
You'd have to feed all the cats, but you don't know if you've ever fed 30 cats. It's quite a experience.
Look at these poor babies.
Sometimes the trash can out by the street would be so heavy with litter, they wouldn't take the trash can.
Oh, he likes the camera.
Because we accumulated about 60 cats, it became Tiffany's obsession to clean for 2 hours with bleach water with a janitor-style industrial bucket every night.
Bad for you. Look at Diego wants out. Look at.
We finished a video around 1 a.m.
Also, for what it's worth, cleaning with products like that is very dangerous for you, for your children, for your animals. Please be very mindful of the chemicals, the products, even things like essential oils can cause acute liver failure in cats. Yeah, volunteer to cat rescue. Cat rescues, pet rescues, shelters are always looking for volunteers to go feed kitties, hang out with kitties, go like play with them, love on them. Even things like just donating pet products to a shelter is a great way to go love on the local population of shelter pets. Oh God, hi bye. Oh my God. Yeah, the ammonia from the pee and clean. Never, 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 ever mix ammonia and bleach. This is like, we're so off the rails here. For what it's worth though, if you mix ammonia and bleach, you can create, I think it's mustard gas, right? Is that what it's called? That is incredibly dangerous. Never do that. If you're cleaning up, yeah, don't mix bleach with anything for sure, but especially chlorine gas. That's what it is. Thank you. Don't mix bleach with anything, but especially if you're cleaning up pet urine, there are so many products that are super safe for you and for your pets that are enzyme-based cleaners that, first of all, help effectively actually remove all of the pet urine, and also that won't create any kind of scary chemical reaction. So don't ever clean cat pee or dog pee or whatever, human pee, with bleach. Ammonia and bleach, potentially deadly, but bleach and anything, just don't do that. There are very few circumstances, honestly, where cleaning your house with bleach from top to bottom is a good idea. So just like a basic Google search about like the best way to clean X, Y, or Z, or the safest way to clean X, Y, or Z will often lead you down a better path than just defaulting to bleach as like the way. It's very, very dangerous. It's also very damaging for your hands, for the surfaces that you're just don't. Yeah, just don't do that. Jesus Christ, that's so scary. I want to understand how Tiffany came to exist. Me too. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, steam cleaning is also great. Okay, 3743. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
I was cleaning till around like 3 a.m.
Sophie and Piper fell asleep at the top of the stairs, bleaching the walls. I was like, shh,
What?
I won't tell anyone, just go to bed. And then Piper told on me and I got yelled at.
At that time, it was definitely bad and weird and unfun to do videos.
What are the odds, Coco, that you would lick that off the floor?
Please stop doing that.
I mean, I guess I dare you.
Okay. No.
Oh
We're
gosh,
okay.
You did it, Piper. You're gonna do it.
Once the squad started really making money, it became about the numbers. How many people can we get to watch?
We're doing bathing suits like we did last time.
I always end up in a bathing suit when I'm here.
They're gonna do what they have to do in order to make that happen.
Yeah,
that's when you have
Sam,
kids
you
that
really
are
need to
forced into situations that they might otherwise be uncomfortable with.
I need every single one of you.
I would say
Dad,
generally
we really
uncomfortable
need to
with.
Simone.
We were actually told to be mean to Simone, to ignore her, to not wish her a happy birthday.
Hi, you're vlogging today?
Yeah, it's a squad a year late.
Before, it was just kind of for fun, and now seemed a little cutthroat.
Oh, was that a bad take?
Yeah, it was like something.
This is also a cult tactic, for what it's worth. I just did a bunch of research about cults. This is also a cult tactic. The tattling on each other thing and turning members against each other to create a hypervigilance so that they then police each other rather than the cult leader having to police them. A hallmark of problematic and high control groups. This is very dangerous. As a therapist in Utah, I get so many advice requests of how long should we do this and that, all abusive stuff. Oh God, I can't even imagine. Maybe. You'll have to watch tomorrow to find out. It is a really good video though. I am really proud of that video. We added a lot of research. Ooh, that reminds me, I need to add the research into the description. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, let's keep going. 39 minutes and 4 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
The screen, it was...
Oh, something was in this, like on the lens,
Yeah,
maybe?
it was something kind of ugly.
Oh.
They did things that made us uncomfortable and that were hurtful.
Tiffany absolutely wanted to do more questionable content to get more views and likes.
I know why this room dependent on the road. Why?
It progressively got worse and worse.
She's a loser. No, I'm not a loser, Frank.
Frank the Pug is Tiffany holding the dog, saying these things in a weird voice. He would bully you, he would degrade you, he would say things that Tiffany probably couldn't get away with saying in her normal voice.
Your head looks like crap.
Frank hated Sophie. Like, would pick on her all the time.
What are you doing?
It became a very stressful environment. I didn't know how to, like, say stop at all.
Today I'm asshole.
Tiffany, she was just being mean. And she was having outbursts and just weirder.
This feels like, again, a very transparent attempt to... I'm wondering if this is a self-esteem thing. A living vicariously through your children thing, but also being so envious of your child, having the things that you wish that you had, and so you need to degrade the people who make you feel insecure and small. This feels like that. Oh, God. Yeah, one step removed from being able to publicly humiliate people, openly abuse people, and get away with it. Like removing their daughters. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Jerry, that's... Jesus. Utah is really something else. Okay. 40 minutes and 15 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Situations that started happening.
Let's bring in our first player, my favorite, Gavin! Gavin's not here. What? He's sick, he can't come.
Tiffany really had like a fascination with Gavin. Like not in just a fun way, in like a creepy way.
Lick it, lick it. If we're gonna lick it. If go, lick it.
Okay, nope, that's super
Tiffany
weird.
would flirt with him. That was very weird. She would say, "Do you have a boner?" from looking at me to Gavin.
What
At
the
this time, he's
fuck?
probably 12, 13.
Let me clean that up for you. Come here. Let me get that for you.
Okay. This is
Gavin
making me
would
nauseous.
try to laugh about it, brush it off, because he didn't really understand what she was saying. I had no idea what she was saying, but she wouldn't do this around parents.
Corinne cries when she comes home. She started revealing more and more things to me that were going on at Tiffany's house.
When people ask me about it and like here, I don't talk about it.
I was at the end of my rope with some of the things that I'd heard, some of the things that were transpiring. That was it. We were done.
Okay, but also, listen, good for this parent for taking her child out of that situation. And where the fuck were you? Hello? I understand that a fair amount of these parents probably had to work because clearly they weren't making money from YouTube because Tiffany was hoarding it all and having no concept of what is going on with your child until you've been told these things, but also needing to be told things more than once before you remove your child from an environment that is obviously making them fucking uncomfortable. It's like peak checked out parent behavior. This is such a problem. I think they just left their kids at Tiffany's house to film. It sounds like this woman just said the things that I had heard and 10 times. Let's rewind.
And like here, I don't talk about it.
I was at the end of my rope with some of the things that I'd heard, some of the things that were transpiring. That was it. We were done. We left.
This is fucked up.
And I get these angry texts.
Corinne got kicked from the group in a group text. I'd never seen anything like that, and it did kind of make me feel a little like, what?
It wasn't our idea to do that. It was completely controlled by Tiffany out of spite.
Corinne's trying to text them and like ask what's going on. And Sawyer said, I'm so sorry, Corinne. I love you, but if I don't, I can't be in videos.
She had people on social media hate on me too.
Calling Corinne a piece of shit on the bottom of their shoe, and like Corinne was a backstabber and Corinne was a bad friend.
Okay.
I basically got blacklisted after leaving.
Nobody said.
But again, would like to point out all of the other parents who are either not aware or are excusing the behavior of their child having to bully another child for dissenting about the problematic behavior that's happening here is also a problem. This makes my fucking brain explode. I just can't, like, my blood pressure is so high right now. The fact that the other parents weren't or didn't clock this or in a position to notice this or whatever, and then remove their child from the situation, first of all, I think speaks to the psychological manipulation that's happening here on behalf of the other kids, and is a problem, in my opinion, because a parent who is checked in with the safety of their child should have been, I don't know, aware enough to notice that this is happening. Your child is being coerced into being a bully to another child because the parent took their child out of a situation that was unsafe. So therefore, we're leaving is the ideal response, right? That's fine. Piper, have your fucking videos alone. Good luck having a squad when you have no fucking people to be in your videos because we left, right? Like, that's kind of the hope here. But it seems like at least a couple of these parents were either not aware or didn't care and just looked away. This is also, for what it's worth, a very common behavior in cults. This is the Scientology suppressive persons thing, right? Suppressive persons, suppressive people, whatever. This is the you're being exiled if you don't toe the line that our group leader has laid down for everyone. They just hired new people. Great. Lovely. There are more parents waiting to give their kid up to this. Oh, that's awful. God. There's a point where there's not substantial evidence between not aware and didn't care. Not a substantial difference. I think so. Yeah. And again, I do want to be cautious here because people who are victims of psychological manipulation are obviously not going to behave in a way that's probably reflective of their true values and morals. And I do think that as a parent, it is your job to be cognizant of the environment you're allowing your child to be in. Okay, let's just keep going. 42 minutes and 16 seconds-ish. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Said anything because we were like really scared, like, well, what if she does that to me?
Tiffany finds people who want to be famous. She knows who to find. She knows who to talk to. She knows how to talk to you. She takes advantage of them.
That's clear. Yeah, Caroline, I've heard good
We hung out a lot,
things about
Hunter,
the
Piper, and
Someplace
Tiffany.
Underneath podcast.
There were some occasions where Tiffany was drinking and she just has no filter, and she would say things to me, especially around Piper. She's like, you're gonna be so sexy, like when you're like a little bit older.
Jesus.
So we were on my live stream, having a good time. And then it took a really unexpected turn.
Jesus.
She forced herself on me.
Oh, okay. Hello. Pause. So sorry. That was not what I was expecting to happen. I think somebody said it was happening at the end of the second episode, but whoops. Yeah, sorry. Trigger warning for CSA. Jesus. Okay. Well. Yeah, Tiffany is apparently drinking while in charge of all of this. I mean, not surprising, but still disappointing. Okay, we're gonna take a beat. I'm on my friend in high school. Whoops, not reading that. Sorry, Scooter. That's terrible. Everybody's going to jail. I fucking hope so. Jesus. Yeah, honestly, very thankful for the overlay. I wish there was a way for me to like put the overlay on Discord to avoid showing stuff like that. I don't necessarily want to not give Sawyer a... I don't know. I don't necessarily want to take Sawyer's voice away by fast forwarding through this, and they're apparently going to show it again, so we're just going to fast forward because I don't want to see that. Yeah, no, me too. Scooter Booter. We talked about that after break, that we are going to watch something else next week. Okay, so this says Tiffany Smith, Hunter Hill, and Piper Raquel via their attorney declined to be interviewed or provide a comment for this series. Oh, Regan, sorry, thank you. Not in a mean way, but they're all children who look very similar. I hope they had permission to show that. I was hoping that too. Hold on, let me see. Whoops. They replayed, and honestly, the second and third episode has... Yeah, nope, we're done with that. I was told that this is the least traumatizing piece of media on the list of things, and I think we were misinformed. Yeah, this is objectively terrible. This is also a friendly reminder that grounding exercises like naming the color of items in the room or finding all of the red items in a room are great coping strategies for when you're dissociating or about to have a panic attack. This is probably some of the most visually distressing. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think so too, Raspberry. I think we can talk about something like this without having to replay footage of it over and over and over again. And I think also even blurred footage feels less exploitative. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to try to watch this in short little bits on my own time so that I can talk about the show without having to stream the whole thing due to the sensitive nature. Thanks, Jade. I mean, we're almost done, so I would assume a fair amount of this is credits. Yeah, it looks like it. So I think actually that's all there is credits. All right, we're at 43 minutes and 18 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, refused to provide a comment. Declined to provide a comment. Tiffany Smith has publicly denied the account of the former squad members and their parents. Great. Okay. Well, that was awful. Love that for us. We're going to stop watching that next week. So, this just feels like the thing that Netflix does. I'm so sorry. Like the unnecessarily exploitative content that we could have raised awareness and made a point without having to exploit these children all over again. Nikki, watching this while doing something else I feel would be ideal because then you don't have to watch it. I heard adolescence is also fucking trauma soup. Yeah, I'm gonna need some co-regulation after that one. Jesus. Heartstopper palette cleanser. We'll see. I'm gonna talk with the mods and figure out what we're gonna watch next week. Without some cleansing, without using something horrific like that as a cliffhanger. Yeah, exactly. Adolescence was so good. Is it traumatizing though? I also heard it's kind of off-putting, the shot in a single take thing. It's like a little distressing. Thanks, Jade. That's very kind of you. I'll probably try to include very short clips of the least traumatizing bits of this when we talk about it on the channel in an edited video format, so that I can also provide people with a fair warning up front about what is coming and when that is going to be discussed. Adolescence, it's so sad. I think it deals with very important issues that we should discuss, and not in a bad way. Okay. For me as a parent, traumatizing. Okay. I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse. I don't think we should watch Adolescence here, but it's a powerful watch. That's what I heard. Sending good vibes for everyone. Yeah, big love to everybody. Good Lord. What a stream, huh? Adolescence is intense for sure, but not traumatizing. Okay. Time for some Spy X Family. I don't know what that is. Might go watch Sailor Moon. Ginny and Georgia would be a good fictional show to watch. I think you guys talked to me about that before, too. Lay down before work, but rinse your souls, friend. Kyle, thank you. Thanks for hanging out on the stream today. It was nice to see you. Oh my God, Lilybug. No. I think that might make it worse, honestly. Adolescence would be good to stream, but I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Okay. How long is Adolescence? Can I see how many episodes this is? 4. Okay. That's not so bad. 4 episodes, 1 hour each. All right. That's not the worst. I feel like there could be some great convos around boundaries and emotional maturity. Interesting. Cherry, that's so valid. Honestly, same. Once we wrap up here, I'm about to do the same thing. Woo! Okay. If anybody wants to share a happy moment or a nice win, we can wrap up stream that way. And then we're going to call it there for today. Because I think that's enough. Sam, thank you for the $4.99. Appreciate how thoughtful you are with what you stream. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I do my best. Pepsi Cola, I thought about it, but I just don't feel good about continuing to, I don't know, talk about the show given the exploitative nature of it all, and especially given the recent tragedy that the family has been through. It feels like putting a microscope on people who realistically need privacy, and especially because we've discussed a lot of the big stuff already. I feel similarly about Sister Wives that I do about Paul and Morgan and Girl Defined and all of those people. If it is relevant or there's something situationally specific to discuss, then fair enough. But generally speaking, I don't want to make a habit out of continuing to broadcast that, because I think the nature of the content is crossing the line from educational to exploitative. For me, that's not me judging anybody. That's not me saying that I think you're a terrible person. if you watch it or are interested in it. It's just that I don't think it's responsible for me to use my platform to further elevate it. I think watching it as an individual is very different than using a platform like mine to sort of air that out in the open, right? So distinctions, as it were. I got my first OBGYN annual and it came back normal. I've been putting it off for years. Oh, Mackenzie, yay. That's the best feeling, getting something like that off your plate and you don't have to stress about it anymore. Oh, look at this puppy. My dog just had surgery on her knee. It went well now and I just have to keep her calm for 7 weeks. Oh, been there. Big love to you. So many hugs to you and to your puppy because it is hard, that recovery. Panic Bunny, thank you for the 35 of your currency. I can never remember what it is. I'm so sorry. My win for this week is an F1 race week and I'm excited. I love the hair. Thank you. Wow. Okay, that's so fun. I hope that you have the best time. Thank you for my Bingus stickers. Katie, I'm so glad. Let's see. Yeah, please boop her nose for me. Yeah, dog knee surgery is rough. Let's see. I'd probably... Oh, sorry. Coachella's live streaming on YouTube all weekend. Oh, that's nice. I didn't realize Coachella was happening already. I feel like it just happened. To be fair, I'm probably not the person to check in with that about, though. Good vibes. I'm going to do a wardrobe clean out and plan some sewing projects. Ooh, love. I've been doing some mindless painting lately, and that's been very fun. I've also been cleaning and packing, which has felt like a nice way to try to control the uncontrollable environment around me. My therapist told me that I should try to channel my need for control into productive things. So I'm trying to do that. Oh God, Mackenzie, do you want us all to dissociate to the Dickens? I used to watch that show like way back in 2020, but I gave up. Booped this nude. Yay. I've been organizing so I can fit people in my home. Yay, guests, Christine. Cleaning for a purpose feels good. That's always nice. My 22-year-old cat has been struggling with me all stream. That's really sweet. Also 22. That's lovely. Grim Goose. See, that's why I quit. Still more open concept than it's supposed to be, aka drywall's not up. Oh my God, that would stress me out. I know, a 22-year-old cat is wild. I look forward to my cats being that old and then some. I tell them all the time, I get all the way up in their little faces and I'm like, you're not allowed to die. Nobody is going to die. We're all gonna live happily ever after forever. Ooh, plants growing new leaves. Lots of my Hoya are finally waking up and growing new leaves. Yay for longer daylight. Oh, love. I have been looking at some plant advice. Hold on, let me find the creator so I can tell you guys who it is because their advice has been genuinely life-changing for me. Let me see. Where are my likes? Woo! Still dissociating real bad, y'all. I'm fucking dizzy. Okay, Paige Talon on TikTok. Ooh, it's 111. Paige Talon on TikTok has such helpful plant advice as a person who does not understand plants whatsoever. So yeah, hopefully they're not a problematic person to recommend, but I've really been enjoying the plant content. So if you also feel like you don't understand plants at all, that needs someone to explain it to you, highly recommend. Small good news, one of my babies busted his lip for the first time. Learning to sit is hard. And he was having a hard time for the past few days, but he's feeling a lot better. Oh, Julie, I'm glad baby's feeling better. Yeah, that's a complex process of motor skills. Happy thought, I had hoisin and plum roasted chicken with seasoned broccoli and rice for lunch. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Done with work in 15. Love. Okay, great. I killed a cactus plant, so thanks. Oh, Kiara, it's me. Do you ever just do a quick little peep at the street view of the bingo winners? Oh my God, no. Katie, no, of course not. If you do, I want you to know that we repainted, so my house smells so good. No. No. The addresses get transcribed onto an envelope. I think I have asked Google, like, how do I put, like, in a different country, right? Like, Norway, Spain. I think we had one from Russia one time that I was like, are their addresses the same? So I was like, what's the order in which I put these things down? But no, I promise I don't Google images or Street View y'all's houses. That feels like an invasion of your privacy when you've trusted me with a very, like, sacred thing. So I'm sure your house is beautiful though, Katie. That's nice you repainted it. I have some good plants, but I lost an air plant. Air plants seem really hard to take care of. I don't get it. I know that people say that they're super easy, but I don't find that to be the case. So okay. I think we're going to call it there for today. Thank you all for coming on this journey with me, and my apologies that we ended up accidentally watching Trauma Soup. Next week we will be watching something a little bit less trauma-y, but hopefully still educational. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are about that. If you guys have strong opinions, you can put them in the comments of the replay. Also, hi, replay crew. Love you all so much. In the meantime, make sure that you go check out tomorrow's video because it's a good one and I'm very proud of it. Honestly, I hope that you guys like it too. Did you include Trauma Soup slide in the soup presentation? No, unfortunately, that one didn't make the cut. And yeah, no worries. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next week. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for the main channel video. Love you all so much. See you next time. Bye.